but me. Starting the show. Hello, guys. Welcome back to Debating Woes. Like I said, I'm your host, Judge Dre. Thank you guys for coming in, tuning in for the second half of the show. We normally roll in with a free-for-all. Please hit that like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that donate button down there because that's what keeps the show rolling. We've already established our panel here. We'll post a link up for anybody who wants the link. Just ask for the link in the chat box, and we'll get you up on the panel. All are welcome. Don't worry about it. We don't care if you go anywhere else afterwards or you can come back here. We don't care.
Shots fired.
I can stop sweating now.
Oh, God.
Now, as we...
Funk Flex dropped the bomb.
Nah. You dropped the bomb on me.
Really?
Well, that is a good song.
That is a good song. Hell of an intro.
It's not a good song, but that was just random as all hell.
Right. I'm a very freaky girl.
What? See, there's a song for everything.
Right. You know,
True.
I don't want to bring you the mother.
You know what? That'll be something to start. Just like start a whole conversation just with song titles. It's like
You know
what the hell
who
would do
has,
that?
We
you know
already
there's a
have
song for everything?
Yeah.
We have your
Cheesy.
number? Freaky, we already have your name. Can I get
Come on.
Wait,
You know,
what?
Cheesy has a
I
song
already
for
have your name. Can we
everything.
get your number?
No.
Why not?
You can get my business number.
No, but you said first you get her name, then you get a number.
Well, I think he want to give you the business.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That
that's the
business
right-
is already
that's the right
taken.
Keep it professional. Keep it
No,
professional.
I keep it professional.
Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
See?
That's how we
I was
do.
say, are you about
That's
to
how
pull a
we
Ray J?
roll.
Pull a Ray J. No, what you say? You gonna say what? I'm gonna be singing, playing. What is it?
What's that
Well, you
vaping
don't know that.
sound?
Somebody's on fire.
No, ever since the alarm company got to come out to the house. Ever since the house got zapped. Literally, we just put another TV in my grandmother's room. I upgraded the TV. She got a 48-inch now. It was better for her anyway. She could see better now. But like
Stories on fleek.
I got to pay for. We still can't, and it's like shit because niggas don't say, oh, we didn't have insurance to cover that. And then by the time
You didn't start a GoFundMe?
deductible. No, but it got powered. I mean, like the phones were out. We lost a couple of electronics here and there in the freezer and shit. I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, it could have been.
A lot worse. I mean, literally, I remember. Matter of fact, you want to hear something funny? The transformer went out the night that the shit started with me, where Tommy posted the video about me. So that's why he was like, why the fuck why you didn't get back online? Nigga, our power was out for 2.5 days. That's why I didn't get online. Got no phone, because it's a new age now. We don't have, all your phones are electric and shit. So you sit up here and oh well, fine, we'll just get once the electricity come back on. No, nope, all the phones are fried. The main base on the phones are fried. So basically, the other 5 don't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know how ignorant we are. Everybody gets rid of corded phones. So they had to go buy a corded phone like the next. He's like, where the fuck do you even find a phone with a cord?
Got him at Walmart.
Yeah, they still do actually.
Right, that's what
Cheap as shit too.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, they still got VCRs in that bitch too.
I still have VHSs. I watch those. I don't care.
I still got my shit too in the closet, but I don't have the VCRs, the box. I don't have that. My mom still has that, but I don't have it.
If you need,
Don't fuck around and have 8 tracks and beta.
just ask for the link, people in the chat.
Trapped in the
Hey,
closet.
man, you can say what you want, bro, but them VCRs, bro, it's some shit you can't actually just give away.
Nigga, hey, you know what? No bullshit. It was a thrill with that shit though. Like, being able to record them, like your favorite music videos, your favorite TV
Yeah,
shows,
I know,
shit
right?
like that.
I know, right?
And
I
the
still
best thing
got
that they ever
videos and
did.
shit. Be like, man, I forgot I like this song.
And the
Get
best
a
thing they ever did.
DVR.
The best thing
That was
they ever
before.
did.
See, if I would have known back then, if YouTube would have came about, I would have been like, man, fuck these videos. But nobody knew, so we were like, man, this is gonna be like the best thing forever. I don't think nothing gonna top this shit. And all of a sudden, we had YouTube. We were like, oh shit, son, we got videos we can watch we ain't seen in years. It was pretty much like a shock to the world with that one. I was like, man, until YouTube decided to be dicks. When
Well,
YouTube stopped, in the beginning, it was fine. But when they started actually having these restrictions on board of talking about, I can't watch certain shit because of this, I can't watch it because of that, certain
It's called
regions here, certain
copyright,
regions
man.
there.
Yeah.
At first, it was like, man, free fall. And all of a sudden, it was like, you know what? Because I tell you the truth, if you find a video of an old video and they got like maybe 140 views, nobody gonna give a fuck. But if you get over a certain amount of views, that's when that shit just comes out and they'll be like, oh no, you can't have that. I was like, come on, man. Even instrumentals and shit, you can't even put that shit on YouTube.
That's because YouTube will get sued. YouTube got sued too many times. That's what it is.
Dude, do you know, like, with Prince, with his shit, I don't know if that nigga had, like, internet police or YouTube police patrolling this shit, but anytime you upload a Prince video, they take that shit down
Oh
in like 30
yeah.
minutes.
You can't even sing one of his
They can
songs.
pay somebody. Think about it. You pay somebody $300-400. It says if you're a billionaire like that, you can pay somebody $300-400 a week just to be out there to looking for your shit.
They don't look for it. There's
And they
an
have machines that do it,
algorithm.
too.
There's an algorithm that goes through YouTube, and he puts his songs into it, and every video that gets uploaded is run through this algorithm. And if it hits those tones, it pulls it. That's why you'll look up like songs on YouTube and you'll listen to them and you'll be like, well, this sounds fast. This is sped up. That's how they get around the algorithm.
Yeah.
They speed it up so it doesn't catch
Or
it.
they slow it down, yeah.
They do it with new albums and shit too. I swear I heard a couple of albums to the point where it shit slowed down, sound like a screwed version. I'm like, damn, speed it up. If you put it past that certain play of speed, you'll probably get the regular tone. But no, they slowed that shit down so they couldn't get their shit taken.
Yep.
Hello, Theo.
Real quick, hey, let me throw this out there for y'all Rocksmith people that told me to get Rocksmith. It's $83, man. Why is it so expensive? Is it worth it?
You paying for? Wait, are you getting the bundle as far as like the game and the cord itself?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth. You got a guitar?
Yeah, I got the guitar already. I actually had the
it's worth
game. I had the game before, and I was really for my
Put you
son.
like this. Put you like this. You paying for lessons. So go ahead.
Alright.
You paying for lessons. That's exactly what you're doing. That's actually
feel.
cheap lessons.
Yeah.
So I mean, I paid how much I paid for mine? About like 43.
Really? Yeah. I'm gonna go to the little used game shop and see what they got.
You can get a lot
this
of
is real
tutorial
brand new,
videos on
but see-
YouTube too.
The what?
So you can look up a lot of tutorial videos on YouTube too. Like they'll
Yeah,
have
but
tab
some people
tutorials
can't
on
teach.
YouTube.
I need it to be like a game.
If he knows how to read tabs, you need to learn how to do that.
Well, they teach you how to do that. They teach you all types of all trades of the guitar. It's like they teach you how to do pitch harmonics. They teach you how to do harmonics. They teach you how to do mute. Shit, I'm drawing a blank. But just different chords and everything. They teach you everything. So I never had no problem. Then I started learning shit on my own. What they won't teach you are scales. Now that I say go on YouTube or actually go to Guitar Center or something to learn how to do that. Certain scales like the blues scale, pentatonics, major and minor, different scales or whatnot. Me personally, I enjoy doing the blues scale sometimes, just going up and down the fret. So, and then you'll actually learn different tunings. You'll actually like the songs on Rocksmith. You'll be learning like some songs are played in drop D. Some of them played in E flat standard or E standard, drop A, drop D flat, drop D flat G. Some different songs, and you'll be playing the original songs of these songs. I hate to say that, but yeah, you will be playing like original songs. Like I learned how to play Deftones, Change. I learned how to play My Own Summer. They also have it where you can buy different songs too. Like you can buy Disturbed, which I'm mad they don't have any Slipknot, but I can understand why. They don't have any Journey. but they do have a lot of Pearl Jam, Nirvana. They have Judas Priest, Jimi Hendrix, Rage Against the Machine, System of a
I love Rage,
Down.
man. Rage Against the Machine. I love them, man. Them niggas is the shit.
I went to a tribute concert one time when they did Rage Against the Machine. That shit was actually pretty fun though.
We talking about rock music? I just came back.
Yeah.
If you want to learn an instrument, it's all about repetition. Like, that's all it is. Just repetition, 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 repetition.
You have to commit first.
Really,
It's all about
dude.
commitment.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the first
That's
thing is
why I
commitment.
figured if I did it on Rocksmith, that's why I feel like I could do it, because I do it during my video game time.
You could do it. You're a college-educated man.
What's that got to do with the damn guitar?
Everything. Learn if.
Hey,
God,
hey,
Musashi
listen, man.
in the
Let me,
Book of the Five Rings. Musashi said, "If you learn the path narrowly, you can learn it broadly."
bro. Let me give some wisdom. It ain't no fable or no nothing like that. It's real simple. Keep taking your ass to class, and you too can get a degree.
Oh, it's not a fable. What it's saying is, God,
Nah,
it's about learning how to learn. If you want to
Yeah.
really teach people something, you need to teach people how to learn. Because once you learn
right.
how to learn, you can learn anything. What a
I
lot of
think that
people don't know is how to learn.
when we get older, we get stubborn too. That's why I'm saying, like, I could take lessons. I could go to Guitar Center. I could get this video game. I can sit here and analyze how many ways I won't do it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I feel you. It's just convincing myself that I can, and then just like anything else. But yeah, I
This is
feel
a
you, man.
fantastic book for everybody in the chat and on the panel. It's called The Art of Learning. It's about a guy who became a chess champion, and then he got tired of it, and then he became a Taekwondo world champion.
And
And
then
he
he
was
got
talking-
tired of that.
I feel like Josh is talking about his life story right now.
No,
Yeah,
I am
he's
not. I'm
sliding
neither
in.
a chess champion nor a
He
Taekwondo
gonna
world
release his
champion.
documentary here pretty soon.
No,
The way you explain it, though.
I'm for sure neither of those things.
God.
Damien, I actually taught
Sure
myself
you're not
how to
shameless,
play guitar.
plug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I taught myself how to play. That's why I lack every single fundamental about guitar. I have no fundamentals. I just learned how to play on my own.
I learned how to
That's
do it the
impressive.
fundamental way. But that is a gift, though, to learn how to play it. Once you actually like get the fundamentals, or just even understand how the guitar works in certain ways, it'll be a lot easier for you.
I mean, here's the deal. I'm gonna expose myself a little bit. I played clarinet in middle school, right? And I got ragged. Fuck whoever laughing. Fuck you, man. No, I'm just joking. But hey, go ahead and laugh. Get it off your chest so I can finish my
I play
story.
saxophone, so it's
Nah, but you know clarinet ain't the same as saxophone. But I
There's nothing
appreciate
wrong
it.
with the
Yeah.
woodwinds, Damien.
Right.
Nothing wrong
I
with
like
the
the
So,
woodwinds.
but the
woodwinds.
deal
That was
is, bro,
funny.
like I got clowned on it so much that I let it go, that to the point to where like I can't read music anymore, and I'm disappointed that I allowed myself to give up something that is so valuable in your life. You know, if you think about like maintaining your memory through old age, if you play music, that is invaluable. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I agree. But at least you didn't play the flute. So I mean, come on now.
Nah, it could have been worse. But you know, everybody wanted to play the drums. Then once you got into the woodwinds, everybody wanted that sax. But my dad actually played clarinet in the military band, so I was like, fuck it. He played clarinet, he cool. And so I played clarinet, and it wasn't cool.
I
So
played the trombone, so I mean, I kind of understand, but I didn't want to do that. Actually, I wanted to play the piano. That's something
right.
I learned, but you know, they weren't teaching us piano for some. Well, back then they weren't teaching the male piano. That was weird.
Right.
But the females, yeah, the males, no.
I see. Yeah.
I
Ain't that
teach.
weird?
If I had kids, I'd teach my kids how to play the piano. Because if you can learn how to play the piano, you can play anything.
Anything. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
It also helps. I heard it that people that play piano have higher IQs if they start as children.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it has something to do with neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah,
works with
exactly.
the different connections in your brain, because the
Right.
piano is a mad complicated piece of equipment. Like
But
Yeah.
you
there's a
know,
lot going on to play piano.
you know what lowers your IQ? Whooping your
What?
kids' asses. Whooping your kid.
Facebook.
See, that's why I'm so dumb.
Like whooping your
I took
kids is
too
one of
many
the few
beatings.
things that can lower your IQ.
Mm.
I actually can play piano by ear. It takes me a while to actually like pick up an entire song, but I can play it by ear. But I never learned how to play it as far as like sitting down and understanding the fundamentals of the piano. I never did that. Once I actually like master one instrument, I will probably do that. Which is I'm trying to actually like figure out and master the guitar first because I played drums. I know how to play drums. I played saxophone. Know how to play that. I played tuba for a little bit. Learn how to play that. So I'm trying to get in as far as like the guitar, which I always been interested in for the longest time since about like '97, and was like, well, you know what? I think I actually should go ahead and get that because I paid for my guitar early in the year because my last one I had for a while got stolen early in the year. Somebody jacked my shit out of my car.
Wow.
So
Damn, I'll be
yeah,
pissed as hell.
I wasn't even
That
mad.
happened to my
To tell you
homeboy.
the truth, I'm gonna be real. I wasn't even mad when it happened. At first, I bust out my door in my last apartment I was in, and I was mad for about maybe 3 seconds, and then I said, you know what? Fuck it. This is a perfect opportunity to go ahead and buy me a new one anyway, because I wanted to get me an Ibanez, which I like Ibanez guitars better anyway. I mean, I always like that brand.
Man, my
But
guitar is $550. No way I feel like replacing that.
I paid how much did I pay for mine? I think I paid. Well, this was a sale going on, so they knocked off like 25%. So I paid like 180 for mine,
It's funny
and
you're bringing up this with guitars because I had bought me a bass guitar last year, but since
5 string, 4 string.
I got a 4 string. But
Uh,
since then, but hold on, but since then, like with the music software, I mean with the MIDI equipment, I'm probably gonna pick that thing up probably once or twice because it's so easy now with the MIDI equipment. Because I have a drumming machine, I could use that to get that sound, a bass guitar sound, just from the drum machine, just with the MIDI equipment. Other than
yeah.
actually picking it up and trying to learn and play it and make my own sound. I mean, you can call it lazy. I say it's lazy. I've been looking at YouTube things, but I'm like, oh, with this music software, they make it more easy, so I don't really have to learn how to play it. I could just go my drummer machine, press that, boom, and get that sound. It's not the
You talking
same.
about the MPC?
Yeah, yeah. I got the MPC. Well, I got the MPD. I don't have the C. I have the D.
Oh,
Uh,
you got the MIDI controller.
I got the MIDI control. Right, but it's like the drum machine set out. But
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
with the MIDI, I could
Cause I
manipulate.
had the MPK 49 with the pads. It was the MIDI controller. It's the pads, and then it got the keys and shit at the bottom.
Right. I have one of those too, the smaller keyboard ones too. I have both, but usually the MPD is the one I usually play with. And I sit back and I look and I'm looking at that guitar and I just, I feel bad because I'm like, yeah, I bought it, I know it, but it's just to make it easy because the software they have now, it's just, hey, you really don't have to learn like
What
the
software are
actual.
you using though?
Hmm?
What software are you
I
using?
was using Pro Tools.
Oh, okay.
I was
oh
using
yeah. As far wait, you use Pro Tools for production or you use it for recording?
actually it was for production. Recording was more so just playing around. I wasn't that serious with things. I was just basically just making beats. And then people want to, rap over it. You know what I mean? Because I had an Apple computer and all that came with it. So
Yeah.
you just,
You had
All right, man.
and I
the
just got,
iMac for it.
and I just got the equipment. And
It came with Pro Tools, bro.
yeah,
You must have the bundle.
it was a used. I bought it from somebody.
Okay.
It came with all the, certain software. And just playing around with stuff and
Man, Pro Tools just seems so complicated, dude.
It's really not.
it's
It's
really
really
not.
not.
I mean,
It's so easy.
it's just the inserts and things that you get, the plugins.
Right. different VSTs or whatnot you actually use as
Because
far as
see,
mixing and
here's the thing.
mastering.
When I had my Mac, when I was doing my Mac setup, I was doing machine. Because when I started doing beats, I was doing it on FL Studio. But when I did the Mac setup, it was a MacBook Pro with machine, and I used Studio One as
Mhm.
my DAW.
I heard about that. My friend got me on Studio One, but I never used it though. He said it was nice though. I use I use Cubase right now. Cubase 8.
See, this is what I don't like about Cubase. Cubase is to the point where everything is scattered brain on it on Cubase. It's to the point you have to go look for certain things. It's not like
They don't
when
come
you
with
pull out.
everything, right?
Yeah, it's not like on Pro Tools and Logic almost. Well, Logic is almost like Fruity Loops, but a little bit more advanced. Pro
Right.
Tools and Logic almost wasn't what. Cubase is the only one, and Reason is the same thing as Pro Tools too. If anybody has Reason, Cubase is the
Obvious.
only one where when you use it, you be like, okay, I'm gonna go over here. I think this is it, and it's not. It's really weird like that. And I remember back in like '07 when I was in one of my homeboys' studio recording a project, and we out there using Cubase, and I'm up there so damn confused. I'm like, bro, what the hell is going on? It's like he's showing me different stuff. I'm like, man, I don't even understand what the hell's going on. With
Yeah,
Pro Tools,
everything.
once you use it, it's so easy. It's basically it's trial and error with
Yeah,
Pro Tools.
it's like exactly that's what it is. And I want like a lot of people saying that yeah, that's what the pros use because it's like the you get the top notch production. That's not true. Once you learn it and figure that it's more easy to use. To me, it was more easy to use. And then Fruit Loops, FL gave me headaches.
Yeah.
I
Well,
hated.
actually, it's not that hard to use FL. Tell you the truth.
I
Hell
don't know.
no.
It was the software because it was a difference from using Mac to going to like with PC. Because PC,
Yeah.
if you don't have your computer set right and you doing these projects on FL, that your computer would crash.
You see, that's the beautiful thing about Mac because I actually
Exactly.
had the audio what the fuck personas
Yeah,
audio
that's it.
guides,
Hmm.
and when I hooked it up to
Wait
my
one
my
second. Wait. I hate to interrupt you. Josh, Liz, y'all got control in the room because y'all on laptops. If I gotta step out the room for a minute just in case you gotta do anything. I got you as a mod too, don't I, Josh?
Nope.
What's your screen name?
Mayday. Hitting one.
Oh yeah, got it.
That's in case we have any problems.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna stir up some shit. What are the odds we get this many black dudes together and this many niggas do music? I do music. I did music at one time too, so I'm putting myself in there too.
Y'all are
But
perpetuating stereotypes as we speak.
No, wait. No, hold on. I'm gonna go out and say this and put this on the list since he said that shit. Look, the only reason it's to the point I use music as my therapy as anything.
righteous.
I grew to love it. It was always to the point where every day in my house growing up, there was not a day I didn't hear music. Not a day. Even now, to the point where if I'm doing something, music has to be played. If music isn't played, I'm in deep, deep thought to the point where I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm just in my
Right.
own thoughts.
I'm just
Even then, in my own thoughts, I still hear music. So
Right.
when I'm not when I got when like I'm in a house that's working by myself, I gotta play music or something to keep my mind from wandering.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
it really does help me to the point where music has always been that medium for me not to do crazy shit, because it's been many times, even though I'm not a violent person, that a couple individuals can push your buttons. So I would actually put on one of my favorite records or just any record I feel
escape.
that's aggressive enough and just scream that shit out to the point where it's like, this motherfucker's crazy. But like, look, man, you don't understand my day. You don't understand my mood. Leave me the fuck alone. This is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty much one. And then on top of that, music can help other people as well. As far as the problems you experience in your life is most people can't accept the fact that you can talk to them. But they can accept it if you have a beat and you actually doing some type of music or whatnot. They can accept it then. It's like the discussions we have in here. If we would have said that out in public around people, some people would look at us like, eh. But then again, when we actually, let's say if we put everything we did to an instrumental track, or we actually compose a track together or something like that, and people hear it, they have a choice whether like, well, that's not for me, because they'll listen to the music first, then they'll actually probably come back to the lyrics later, which most people do anyway when they listen to music.
Or,
So it's
or they'll
always
shut it down because it ain't on the radio. If it ain't mainstream, they'll try to shut you down when it's your therapy and your escape.
this is the only job, I wouldn't even say job, but I'm gonna just say it there because most people look at it, but that's the only area where anybody can be vulnerable in. It's like you can confess your most inner demons when it comes to that. It's like everybody has a song that pretty much describes them, or you have a list that pretty much is your soundtrack to your life. If you want somebody to know, most people aren't even open to themselves, open to other people, as far as like, I want to express how I feel, and this is for you to know me. They'll be like, okay, listen to a track, listen to this. I mean, I've done that multiple times where it's like, at first I didn't want to open up to nobody, and I'm like, okay, well, here's a song, listen to this. This is how I feel about something, or this is how I feel about me. So, I mean, that's one reason why I do music, because I like that power of responsibility when it comes to it. It's like I can go ahead and vent out something, and maybe a few people relate, or a slew of people relate to how I'm feeling. That's why I do it.
Dude, that's the beautiful thing about it, man. Because I remember for the longest when I was trying to figure out my sound. You know what I mean? Because when me coming from Chicago, we had like your crucial conflicts, your psychodramas and stuff. So that was kind of like my, my guide or whatnot. But then
Right.
I think like 2003, me, me and my homeboy, we started this little horrorcore rap group, and everybody that we went to school with, they was just talking about all this flashy shit that they don't got. So we was doing left field shit, and we came through the school, played that shit, and motherfuckers was like, man, y'all niggas crazy. What the fuck? But they couldn't deny it. They couldn't say that it was whack. They only thing they could say is, oh man, that shit is a little too out there. But they couldn't deny the fact that it was a good ass song. Like I remember we had some shit that was so outlandish. My homeboy, his father goes to this church, and he's real good friends with a lot of preachers. So we did one of these crazy outlandish ass horrorcore antichrist type songs. And I guess his father ended up hearing this shit and called his pastors to come over there and lay hands on that dude.
Oh wow. People
It
are
was
weird.
I mean, I'm telling you, it was crazy because, like, even with me, my mom heard my stuff. She was just like, "Oh, I know you use profanity." I was like, "Nah, that's the least of your concerns. You need to listen to the content. That shit'll make you look at me in a whole different light." But see, that's the beautiful part about music. You can go there. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I was a kid, dude. Like my mom told me, like when I was a kid, and they turned off music and shit, I would fucking throw a fit.
Right.
I would throw a fucking fit, So it's like, dude, if I'm walking around, man, and my phone is dead, I don't even leave the house until this bitch is charged so I can listen to Spotify.
Right.
I'm
And I got a
serious.
slew of albums on my shit. I make sure my shit charged up.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
got I got like a lot of shit. Like let me see. I got a lot of like I'm subscribed to Spotify, so I got that shit over there. Then I got my Slipknot and my uh
Oh hell yeah.
I got the Slipknot discography on my SD card and my you know, the Eminem Royce the 5'9" album and all that underground hip
Hey,
hop is over there.
let me hip y'all. Let me hip y'all to something real quick. I went on Amazon. I got this Bluetooth earpiece. It looks like a goddamn hearing aid. People don't fuck with me. People don't talk to me. They think I'm deaf. I be listening to music. I don't know if that matters to y'all, but it matters to me. Like, people don't fuck with me, and then when they do approach me, they talk to me loud like I'm deaf. So if you get some shit like you like listening to music all the time, you get one of those Bluetooth headsets, man, for cheap. Man, I always have something in my ear, even when I'm talking to people. I'm talking
Right.
to people with that shit playing. So,
Yeah.
I'm just a suggestion. If you really love music and you want to go to the store and not have people try to approach you and shit, make them think you deaf.
Antisocial as fuck, man.
I'm a little antisocial.
I
I'm a
can't
little
deal with them
antisocial.
little ass headphones. See these big ass headphones I got? These things are killer. They'll blow your
Nah,
ears
them
out
are
if you turn
dope.
them up.
I know. I got Turtle Beaches
Those,
too for the game.
those
But I look
little
Oh,
funny
hell
at
yeah.
Walmart with
earbuds
them
kill me,
on.
man. I can't deal with them.
But I can't do the big
Man,
headphones. They make my ears sweat. Ugh.
yeah.
Shit.
Man,
Not mine.
dude, I remember I saw some fucking skull candies, man, at Best Buy, dude. It was some skull candies with a battery operated fucking subwoofer thing attached to it. I was like,
Damn.
okay, I will not be buying this shit, or I'll be speaking a sign language in like less than 12 months.
You can't control that shit. Man, I like my
No,
shit
you
loud
can.
though, man.
Actually, you can control it, but like, cause they had it on display. I don't even know if they still make these, but they had them on display, and I put the motherfuckers on, and like, this is when Kanye came out with this is what Kanye came out with that Love Lockdown joint. As much as I
On
hate that
808s and
album,
Heartbreaks?
that
Yeah, I
shit,
remember
yeah.
that song.
Yeah.
I
As
remember
much
that.
Why do
as
I
I
know
hate
this
that
trivia?
album, as much as I hate that album, I can say I played that song on them things. Dude, my ass started shaking. I was like, oh hell no, I ain't finna wear these shits.
That face. But y'all talking
Cause
about,
see,
let me show y'all something. That's all I do. That's all I got is headphones. I'm like that.
oh yeah.
This is my Bluetooth ones right here. So I actually did a video on this on my channel about these, which they decent, but you know, this is what I do. I got other stuff behind me, other studio stuff, but I understand I need this. When I'm in my zone, I
You
don't
know
want
what?
to bother me. It's serious. It's serious.
Call me crazy if you want, but these is my best way to test my best way to test my like if I buy some earbuds, the best way
Mm-hmm.
to test them to see if I'm gonna like them is I play some 3 6 Mafia or some Project Pat because they shit bass heavy. So like
Yeah.
Project Pat? Oh,
like if
man.
yeah like if I play
I
some
listened to
three
that
six
shit in high
Mafia,
school.
yeah, I grew up on that shit, man. If I play some 3 6 Mafia some shit and that shit beating, I'm like, all right, I'm buying these. Or some of
Hmm.
that old No Limit shit.
No limits.
Oh yeah.
Like that fiend. I still bump that fiend to this day. The
Nick,
first one.
man, let me
Bump
tell you.
everyone in their family. I think that's
Yeah, that's one in every family. Yeah, that shit was
yeah.
sick.
Woo!
I'ma tell you, man, my favorite No Limit artist, nigga, was fucking Fiend, Mystical, Mac, and Mia X, dude. Those was my favorite four people.
Oh, hell yeah.
Mystical. I remember I got in trouble in middle school for listening to Mystical. I was blowing out Mystical in my room in middle
Mystical was
school.
the
And you should have
shit,
And my
gotten in
man.
moms
trouble.
came in.
What? You
She
want
wasn't
to
supposed to
play
be
the
home.
still smoking bud, was you? Not the still smoking bud song.
My
That
mom
song
was
Oh
like,
man.
everybody was in
oh.
trouble.
We went to church 3 days a week. Both my mother and my father taught at the church. They
Oh
came
shit.
home. I was blowing out Mystical, and it was a problem. I'm telling
It's
you.
always the church kids who are doing the most.
Hey man, have y'all
Exactly.
Hey,
ever heard of this
can I
rapper
can
named
I
Gangsta
interrupt for a
Nips?
second? Can I interrupt for a second?
Mm.
I've been patiently
What up,
waiting
though?
to say this. Going back to what Trey you said earlier about how depending on how we feel is what type of music you listen to or whatever, something of that nature. I just want to say that the music that I produce and write is a 100% expression
Right.
of how I feel. Like
Hmm.
the music that I write and create is 100% how I feel. Like if you go to my YouTube channel and just look at the titles of some of my songs, that's describing how I feel. Like a lot of people don't know it; they just think it's a song. But every song is a part of me, and that's how I express
Right.
myself through my music. And a lot of it, like my genre of choice, is doom metal. I don't know if you ever heard of doom metal,
Oh yeah,
but
Mm.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
Low
like
tone, pretty much.
yeah, low
Yeah, that da da
tone,
da da da. Yeah.
slower
You could
emotion.
also add jit to it.
It's a slower emotional style music, and
Yeah.
that's what I love, and that's what I write. And a lot of that music
Right.
is what I feel, and I think that the only way I can express myself without feeling ashamed is through music.
Same.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't understand the way I feel, and it's hard to talk to people. So the best way I can do it is make a song about it. Like I put the link to my channel on in the inside chat, but just look at some of the song titles I have. And all that's really how I feel, and I produced all this music myself. I wrote and recorded all of it. And
Okay, cool.
one of my biggest investments was this right here, Complete Nine
That's
Retail.
that shit,
Oh
man.
yeah, I got that too. I got that too.
That
Retail. I didn't
11
buy
coming out in September.
Yeah.
September 1st. It was
Yeah, I bought that too. I know exactly. Yeah, that shit is awesome.
one of the best investments I made.
I
Paid full
love Native
price.
Instruments, man. Native Instruments is the fucking best.
It's
They got some of the
just
best
like,
VSTs to me.
yeah, they do. Like Justin,
Yeah.
I feel exactly how you feel with yours because I end up I combine a lot of stuff. Like my favorite subgenres out of metal, even though there are like 36 of them. Let's see, because I grew up listening to grunge, new metal, um, thrash, but I also combine a little bit of try to well, I add that to my poetry part as far as like the progressive side. I like to change up shit on the fly, but I
Yeah.
also added up to the music as well, the timing of the music. So I added to it, mixed in with a lot of symphonic tones to it.
Hmm.
Hey,
So
Okay.
bro. Hey, I
yeah,
don't mean to cut you off, but Justin, they asking for your link in the chat on YouTube. If you want to throw it out there, they
I
asking for it.
I can't post links in the chat.
He's not a
Oh,
mod.
no, on YouTube you can.
Nope. Only mods can post something.
I mean, they can just search for my username, the bounty, and my face will come up.
All right. Well, I mean, I was just letting you know. I'm looking at the comments.
You can
If
post
you
it
put
for him.
it, if you
Post
yeah,
it
if you put
for
it
him.
in the Google Hangouts, I can post it.
but
And I'll go
but
on
Oh, I
there.
yeah,
already did. It's up there already. 11:21.
Hey.
Okay, cool.
Hey,
You're gonna have to dig
Justin, where are
in.
you based out of?
I'm in
If you look at,
Milwaukee.
I also posted
Okay.
that earpiece.
Okay, I only see the earpiece.
Yeah, I seen
Hey,
that. That's in the Google Hangouts.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
Atreyu,
shit. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
you already know me and you gonna be doing some business once I start my project.
Yeah, I'm already down for that. I'm
Alright.
pretty much in the
Now,
midst of right now,
Here's
like
a question
finishing
I've
up my.
always had about music to all you music people, right?
Mm.
What
okay.
up now?
Ever since I can remember, I had listened to a CD one time before hearing anything on the radio and be like, that's a banger, that's a banger, that's a banger. These are going to be the popular songs, right?
Mm.
Why aren't there full CDs just full of hits?
Any,
College
If you
dropout.
on
I
occasion.
can explain. I can explain to you that why this shit started around in 2003. After Get Rich or Die Trying came out, people was like, "Well, fuck it. I'm not even gonna worry about it. I'm gonna just drop singles and I'm gonna drop ringtones." People got lazy, and
Right.
Yep.
it became
It
to
got
the point
easy.
where, yeah, it really did. It was to the point where I grew up in the era where you had to have a body of work in order to actually like come out there swinging. If your body of work wasn't coming out there swinging, fuck you. On to the next. And then on top of that, it wasn't oversaturated in music with a whole bunch of bullshit anyway. It was balanced out. So you may have had bullshit, but it was balanced out by good music too. So
Right.
in the eras of the late 80s, early 90s, then the early 2000s, when 2003 came, actually no, in 2001 that's when the decline started to slowly happen. Then in
Yep.
2003 you had what 50 Cent came around that time, by like 2002, 2003. He came
Yep.
out about that time, and he actually did what hasn't been done in a while, which actually make an album go diamond. Nobody has seen that since Biggie did it and Pac did it. So, well, actually, no. Eminem was the last person to do it, then he came and did it. So after that, it was like, oh well, where's some more good music? And nobody else came
Well,
and followed through.
they're saying they focus on singles in the chat, but if they're focusing on singles, why aren't there more good singles? Like, does anybody listen to this stuff and be like, well, that's shit? Like,
Well, it's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
same
politics.
shit over and
Everything
over
is
and over.
politics.
Well, let me say this, because now with social media, like YouTube and Facebook, I mean, it's easier now. Like any artist now to put their music out than it was before, that you had to go through a record company to be able to get it out. Like
Right.
Soldier Boy is the one who really changed the game with that, and that's basically how music is now. Like you don't need to go through a record company. You just put out one hot single and make a F load of money like he did, and basically all that money came to him.
well, y'all still haven't answered my question, which
Yeah.
is,
And we
when
don't
you
want to
listen
talk
to these
about
albums,
Macklemore either.
you can
Yeah.
hear which ones are gonna be hits.
It's
Oh,
labeled
and you
Why
know
politics.
what
aren't they
it
just albums full of hits? If you can tell, like,
It's labeled politics. So you gotta
Marketing and
understand.
promotion right now. That's your problem. Marketing and promotion.
Well,
They don't.
let's just keep.
But
Go
you
ahead.
gotta understand too.
I was just gonna
I'm
say
sorry.
everybody gonna think they shit is a hit. I mean, the artists,
well,
because
yeah,
they
they
got a
for
personal
sure are.
connection to them, and then they got people around them that experience. Like me, I was never an artist, but I done recorded many of songs that I thought were crunk because we had smoked a blunt, we had all got loud, the beat was banging, and it was just the whole experience of it. But that shit sitting in my goddamn CD case under my entertainment center now. You know what I'm saying? But
Well,
it's
for
yeah.
example, AWOL Nation, I got a hold of AWOL Nation stuff like a year before it hit the radio, and I was like, "Sale's gonna be a banger, I guarantee it." Year later, they start spreading. Sale is like the biggest song in America.
Right.
What
Now,
song?
it's not like I have some
A1
sort of like.
Nation by Sale.
It's
I
not
mean,
like I
Sale
have
by
some.
A1 Nation. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's not like I have some like special music talent. Like you listen to it and you're like, "That's a hit."
But
You know what I'm
some people
saying?
don't have that ear either in the industry. Like nowadays, you have it where to the point where, like I said, it's oversaturated with people and their egos come in because a lot of people don't actually focus on creating that quality. They thinking about like getting a dollar. That's what basically actually comes into. So they don't have that musical ability to actually think about like, you know what, this is actually going to come out and swing and knock people's head off. I'm gonna give you a prime example too. Some people don't know either. I'm gonna give you a prime example. I dropped a song. It was last year on independent radio, and it was with me and my brother. We did it off a project of his and mine, and we put it out there. It was just basically a song about where we come from, as far as like reminiscing, some positive vibe. We didn't think that shit was go hit. Our marketing and promotion team heard it and they were like, yo, this might do it. And we were like, okay. Next, put it out there. We started getting a little small buzz in the industry. Like, oh shit, well, people really like this song. We didn't expect this to happen. Nope, it's in certain cases you don't know if shit like that will happen. You might have that one song that'll come out and be like, yo, this right here is gonna be that song that's people go listen to for like 10, 15 years, 20 years on down. People aren't making songs like that no more. They trying to make songs for now. Tell you the truth, if you're not a Beyonce fan, a real Beyonce fan, you don't know her music like talking about. Nobody really remembers her first album hits like that unless you're a real Beyonce fan. People don't make music like that no more. People aren't even trying to make music like that no more. Me personally, I want to make music like that last on 20. I want to make me something like a Sweet Home Alabama or Nothing Else Matters. I want to make All Eyes on Me album. I want to make a classic album. That's what I want to do. I want to do that. But people don't actually have that drive in them to make something like that.
And also nowadays, like just like how people consider like YouTube have different sectors, that's how it is with music now. It's different sectors. I mean, it's deeper now, like real deeper now. So it's not like I said with record companies. That's why I brought that up, and the difference with social media. Because now you don't have to be waiting on a record company to be putting something out. You just go to YouTube, and if you're in that sector, then bam, that's what you want to follow.
But see, here's the thing, like,
Yeah,
because
I
and
mean,
he got a point. Because you can do the YouTube thing to put your videos out there. And then you can go through somebody like a CD Baby, TuneCore. I can't remember the other ones. But I know those two. You can put your stuff out there, and you can put it on all the different mediums: Spotify, radio, what the fuck is it called? Tidal,
iTunes.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
iTunes, all that shit. You know what I mean? And the crazy thing is now, if you look at it, the fans is like if you let some shit just go out like that and grow legs on its own, it's usually the people that determine this shit. Like prime example, I don't like Juicy J solo, but that Bands to Make a Dance, that's how that shit took off. He leaked that shit out, and that shit just took off.
yeah. You can purposely leak your own shit, and it can actually have it can have two effects. It could be to the point where it could tank, and people be like, "What the fuck is this shit? I'm not listening to it." Or it could be like, "Yo, man, this joint jam, man. I'm about to blast this."
It's
Right
how,
now, the way it's going, most of the time, is social media that's controlling some of this. The fans are actually making a noise. Your core fan base does make a noise,
mhm.
but in the majors, they need independent artists. That's in certain ways, and you have that machine behind you actually while you working. That's gonna make even bigger noise. But you also
But
have, huh?
that's what I'm trying to say. That's how social media is playing a part in this because that's just like Soldier Boy. I hate to keep bringing them up, but see, once the companies seen that everybody was liking that song, that's when they got behind and say, hey, let's get on this guy because that's a hot song. That's what they're doing now. They're not really
They
don't have
Chief
to
Keef
take
too.
a risk now. All they just sit there and sit back. The same thing with Chief Keef in that drill music in here in Chicago.
Yep,
That's
yep.
a perfect example. All they
Well,
did is sat back. Damn, this guy getting all these views and all this. Okay, let's get him, sign him. Let's keep this buffoonery shit out there. But we know we gonna have him putting this out, this and that, but it don't matter. He still gonna sell. That single gonna be hot. That CD gonna be hot because these people
not only that, they looking at his core fan base. That's the thing
exactly
about it.
exactly.
The way the industry actually is made nowadays is based off your. They not trying to actually go out and get new fans. The
Right,
industry,
right. I know.
mainstream industry is only focused around that core base. That's
Mhm.
it. So they trying to actually double up, make money. This money you were making independent, they trying to take that and
Exactly.
actually like put to them instead of you
Exactly.
getting all that. So,
Dude, do you
but it,
realize Macklemore was like one of the Macklemore with that thrift shop and all that shit? That shit was released independently, dude.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have
That shit
y'all
went platinum.
have y'all
Yeah.
seen
And if you
the?
listen to that song he was talking about, it's called Jimmy Iovine, I think. He was
Mhm.
actually breaking down like how they was getting these label offers, and they like shit, man. We better off doing our own thing, man. Y'all ain't really, financially it don't make sense for us to
Right.
sign
For
with y'all.
YouTube, but that's just how they looking at it nowadays to see what's hot, what's considered a hot album. Okay, put
Exactly,
it on
because
YouTube.
artist development is dead. Artist
Right.
development died.
It's no more street team. It's no more like he said, development artists. That's basically development. That's YouTube and Facebook.
Well,
Yep.
have y'all seen the TED Talk? Thousand fans, a thousand true fans. He was
No, I
talking
haven't.
about It was
Yeah,
talking
1,002
basically,
fans, 100,000 a year. That shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was talking about how you with the development of social media for artists, you can interact directly with your fans, and if you get 1,000 true fans, that'll spend $60 on you a year, like true hardcore fans that will buy everything you put out.
Hmm.
If you can get those 1,000 people, then you're set. And he was talking about how it's going to lead to an explosion of art because you don't have to go through these big labels anymore. You don't have to have these big promotions because you have the ability to get one-on-one with people. Just cut out the middleman completely.
Yeah.
And like he was saying before, which I agree, like, okay, think about it now. So do they really got to work hard on the music now? Like you just, as long as they got these diehard fans, and they just keep, basically, they just go keep regurgitating that fucking music. That's all they're going to do. That's what Chief Keef did. You just keep making the same bullshit over different beat, but the same fucking, you know what I mean?
I think you're not going to get more of the same. I think eventually it's going to start spreading out because everybody's going to be getting their own like niche.
True.
Yep. So.
You're right. That's true.
Dude, why do you think like Tyler the Creator got a cult fucking following? He's not Tyler the Creator. He's from California.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, our future. They got a big ass following, dude.
Yeah.
Yep, they got a big ass following.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same about for instance, Logic, Visionary Music Group. He technically his shit somewhat still independent. He on Def Jam, but I wouldn't want to side with Def Jam for anything like that anyway.
They fucking suck now.
Damn, does he own a mic?
What?
Trey, your shit started going out like randomly.
I think
no.
once
But
they
can you now?
You're a robot.
You cold, Josh. You're like, damn, does he own a mic?
Right now, I'm going to put my headphones back in, but
What?
wow. I said I'm
What? I'm sorry. What? What did you? Your mic is cutting out really, really bad.
What is it good?
Yeah, I thought it was me.
Absolutely no.
Yeah, I mean,
We can hear you, but not clear.
I don't know what happened. You've been going fine all night, and now it just suddenly.
I don't know what the fuck, man. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I okay.
Are
Okay,
they
good.
throttling your data plan or something?
Yeah, I'm
Bro,
out my
I'm out
Wi-Fi.
here in blood and shit, man. So shit is like fucked up out here. So I'm just saying. But all right. Shit, I got my train of thought. I'm trying to get back. Anyway, with the music industry on how it's shaped, like for instance, Logic over at BGM, he pretty much his team has somewhat had a joint venture with Def Jam. And the way Def Jam works nowadays, it seems like to the point where like we'll push you enough, but you gotta work harder on your own. You gotta do this shit on your own, and that's why I look at it as to the point where independent is the best route in a lot of ways. But a lot of people don't understand the avenues and how it goes. I always tell everybody this. I'm like, look, that bootstrap way of doing it is not going to work out very well. It's best you get a marketing team, spend money on your marketing team, and that way when you do that, you can actually like broaden out like everywhere that you want to go in the independent world. Because a lot of people don't know. They thinking like, well, this artist got it on because of YouTube. I'm like, yeah, he already had a following before he got on YouTube. So that's the fact that that shit doesn't work like talking about it either. And a lot of things people say, yeah, right, mainstream radio, I will say is somewhat dead. So if you use independent radio, satellite radio, and these college radio, man, that gets your shit straight, bro. But you got to still pay for that, but it's not expensive as like paying for mainstream radio. Because if you pay for mainstream radio, let's say if you spend $1 million on mainstream radio, there's no guarantee whatsoever they're gonna play your shit.
Hey, Atreyu, flat out, leave and come back. Maybe it'll clear up a little. You can hear you, but it's a little squatchy.
Hey, who's familiar with Sound Exchange?
Just leave and come right back. That's all.
All right, I'll be back.
Anthony, you familiar with Sound Exchange?
No, I never heard of it.
Okay. Okay, so you know about ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, right?
No.
Oh, no. How in the hell? Okay. You're a producer, yeah?
No, I'm more of a freelancer.
Okay.
I was.
Oh.
I mean, this was years ago when I was dibbing dabbing. You know, like,
Okay.
hold on, let me show you what I'm talking about. I can show you.
Who's the other musician on this panel besides me and Atreyu and you? Who is it, Justin?
Yeah, I'm also like this. This is like my setup. This is the type of, I got the mics and, the equipment, but I don't, the instrument part, no. I really, And then as you look, basically I'm taking it down because I'm trying to do my own little radio thing now. So I
Right.
really, it's been years, so I really don't be dipping and dabbling.
Okay.
So
Here's the thing. Okay, for anybody who's a music producer, a songwriter, a hip hop artist, if you don't know about BMI, CSAC, or ASCAP, or Sound Exchange, man, you leaving money on the fucking table. Because
BMI
basically what,
too. CSAP.
yeah, I said, yeah, BMI, CSAC, ASCAP, and Sound Exchange. I was just, I mentioned that right when you chopped out, and I was asking Anthony about it. He's never heard of it, but I was telling him, I say, man,
Ooh.
that's the
Yeah, that's
like,
your bread and butter right there, homie. Yeah.
yep. Because if you're doing beats or your shit getting played, because like Sound Exchange is another one of them things that I just found out about this shit, and I was like, oh
I
fuck.
mean, I did the sound when I was doing it. I was doing the SoundCloud thing. You know, I did that briefly, but I mean, it's because I had like a little group, so people would just come and I make a beat, they come and rap over it, and then that was just like pleasure. Like we play it in our car.
Right.
It wasn't the money, you know what I mean? Because I mean, we weren't going in that direction. What was getting played out here? So it was just some stuff we was just doing and playing around with it, and then we put it on Facebook or whatever, little Instagram thing, and then I mean, if it go viral, all right. Other than that, okay, who cares?
Do you know? Do you know that if you are an artist, producer, and you know how much shit is being produced out there as far as movies, TV shows, commercials, reality shows, and all that shit. Man, if you make the right contacts and you fucking get your shit licensed, that's if
Right.
you
I was
register
just
with
about to
any of
say
those
that.
people, if you register with any of those organizations, that's royalties coming to you on a
Right.
quarterly. Who remember the runners, the producers that from
Yeah, I remember.
online?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know why you don't really hear much from them? Because what they ended up doing, you remember what's that show? America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Walsh. They changed the theme song, and he had them to act. He was in the studio with these two dudes, and had them to produce him a new theme song.
Hmm.
It's all you
That's why
need
you.
is one. I
Yep.
saw a interview with Sir Mix-a-Lot, and they were
Oh
asking him
shit.
about what he thinks of people that always talk about him as a one-hit wonder, and he just started laughing. And they're like, "What are you laughing about?" And he said that song, since it's come out, has netted him over $400 million.
Yep.
Damn.
Believe it. I can believe
Shoot,
it.
Anaconda, that Nicki Minaj song.
Yeah,
Right.
That's
that's
what it
why
sampled.
they were
He got-
interviewing him, because Anaconda sampled it.
Right, he
They
got
brought
paid
it
for
in and interviewed him about it.
Right. But she called it right. She sampled it. She had permission and all that. But I said he got paid for that. And think
Yep.
about it. Think about it. If anything, that's the best. Think of like songs like that keep getting played 10 years later. Like another song that get a lot of play, even though it'll get old. Only one time of the year is summertime. You hear Will Smith still
Yeah.
getting paid for that song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Think
And
about it. That's
so,
the best thing.
And Cool in the Gang too, because they sample from Cool in the Gang, so they getting royalties.
Not even the
Matter
fact
of
that,
fact,
but right. You get your
MC
song.
Hammer can't touch this.
Right, but think about it. You get your song on like a hit show, like a show like Law and Order, the theme music for that. Imagine that motherfucker gonna get his
that's
king.
just 3 dings. Do you think the guy that did the 3 dings gets
Hell,
royalty checks?
Yeah, he does.
Hold on,
He does.
hold on,
That's some crazy
hold
shit
on.
about it, how it works, though.
Who remembers New York Undercover?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Okay,
wow.
Yeah.
Old school.
yeah, New York Undercover.
Law and Order
The dude,
still on, and you still gonna get. Think about it, that show. They're gonna be showing them episodes probably in 20 years from now.
think about you know who did the theme song to New York Undercover?
No.
Yeah.
That's,
M Tune.
oh wow.
So same people that did that Juicy Fruit shit.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did the theme song to New York Undercover.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just imagine all of that, because that shit reruns on fucking.
That's just like in the Wayans brothers, like in the first season.
Yep.
But that's just like in the Wayans brothers, the first season, you hear Tribe Called Quest.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people didn't know that
Man, I love that
extreme
group.
relaxation. I mean, not
Yep.
extreme, electric relaxation.
People wonder why
Yeah,
Phil
fast.
Collins. People wonder why Phil Collins stopped making music. Phil Collins did all the music for those fucking Disney movies.
Yeah.
All of them. Lion King, fucking all that shit. That's Phil Collins. We want to talk about money. That's
all you need.
serious money. You do all the theme songs for fucking Disney movies. Now you're getting paid.
Hell yeah. That's the thing, though. That's what people fail to realize. Like, dude, for the longest, we looking at all this shit. Like, the motherfuckers who did Different Strokes, Alan Thicke had a fucking hand in that theme song. Robin Thicke's father had a hand in that shit.
Shit. Robin Thicke pretty much wrote for Michael Jackson, and he wrote for a bunch of people. He wrote for Usher. He wrote for a lot of people.
Hell yeah.
I mean, if I was gonna make music, I wouldn't even try to get on the radio. I try to make movie music. I try to be fucking Hans Zimmer.
Hell yeah, man.
Right.
Hans
That's
Zimmer
what it
is where the money's at.
The money's always been behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's always been behind the scenes. Why you think, like, what people didn't even know about Missy Elliott, like, they be like, man, I ain't heard from her. She fell off. No, that bitch is
No,
still
she
eating.
didn't. No, she
And that's
didn't.
the best,
Right.
that's the best money to make, because if you make it behind the scenes, especially as a guy, that means you can act like you broke when you want to, and you can act like when you rich when you ain't. So I mean,
Right.
I mean, so think about the relationship wise. It's better to be that motherfucker on the side not known than the main dude. Because that way too, if you meet women, you know if they like you for you, because you can always lie and act like you do something else. I mean, literally, because a lot of people won't know who you are.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I
Dude,
mean,
Missy Elliott
better.
wrote songs for. Dude, Missy Elliott wrote songs for Raven Simone when she was a little girl.
Right.
She wrote shit for SWB before they broke up. You know, she wrote One in a Million for Aaliyah.
And think about it as a writer. Say I wrote the song, right? Think about it. I wrote the song. I'm done. I'm done working. I did all like this. I wrote it, produced it. You the singer singing the song. Your motherfucking ass got to go on tour working around singing the shit. Flying here, flying there. Look, I get to put my feet up and collect my check.
Basically.
Yeah, but I still say people behind the scene work more than the people like in the spotlight. The people in the spotlight, they work to a certain degree.
No,
but behind the scene.
In the beginning, I would say that, no, you work harder, but towards the end, no, you don't. The only bad thing about being behind the scenes, you don't get the groupies.
Dude, think about it.
You got the money.
Look,
Did
I'm
not
sure
do that.
Quincy Jones is still, Quincy Jones is still eating off Thriller.
Right?
Hey
He
man,
probably ain't even. He
For
probably
sure.
ain't even. No, fuck that. He probably ain't even touched Bad yet. He probably ain't even touched that money yet.
That shit's still in the bank.
I'm still spending 1980 money, nigga. You see how old that is?
You know?
Interest.
The paper be
Yeah,
got
interest.
holes in the paper and shit, moth holes in the money.
Even
Now, see, that's money. I'm not understand. Understand. When we do music. It's of course we not money driven, but getting compensation is something actually we would like to do at the same time. So I'm not I'm not gonna be like no fool like nah man. Nah, if you pay me for my work, hell yeah. But I'm like this though. I'm not gonna sell my damn dignity for no damn check. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, writers and producers are the real talent behind this stuff. The performers are like sacrificial lambs.
Right.
Because how many performers make it through not fucked up?
But that's
Like, how many?
How many performers own their own music?
That's why I said they're the sacrificial lambs, man. The writers and the producers make all the money, and then they push these performers out, and they think they're living the dream, but then they're fucking dead in 10 years,
But like he said though, look what they getting, especially the male performers. They getting all the groupies, so they thinking, okay, it's worth it. I mean,
It's a
simping.
passive. It's a pacifier though. Just like you're saying, it's a pacifier.
It is. I agree 100%. I wouldn't want that. Just give me my money. I'm cool.
Right.
You know.
Right. I mean,
figure it out.
I've talked to people too, and it's to the point where they say, "Man, fame is not what." I'm like, I already know. I can see right now. Fame is it's a drug, but I don't give a fuck about all the lights and the glitz
Right.
and
Me
glamour.
neither, dude.
I want to just get on stage. I want to actually like experience the people. I want to actually do things to help people out with my music. That's what I'm doing this for. It's like, okay, if this song can get you by through a hard time, like a song actually helped me go through a hard time, you know what? I think I've done my job. And I'm getting paid for doing what I love too. That's the best thing in the world to me.
And I'm thinking at the end of the day, if I need to go home and see some shiny shit or that'll make me feel like I made it, I throw some goddamn glitter up in the air while I'm in my mansion.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Be in the fucking hills somewhere and chill the fuck out.
You know, so hey.
Fame and money don't get you through the day. I mean, look at how high the suicide rate is for people who work on Wall Street.
Yep.
The suicide rate for them is like way higher than the general population.
Yep.
And they got all the money in the world.
Yep.
That, you know?
You know why? Because they did it for the money. That's exactly what they did. They didn't do everything for what they love. They ain't trying to actually be happy. They trying to just get more money and more money. It's like, okay, you got all this money. Now what? You have all this money and you not happy.
Well,
I'm
I
sorry.
got a
It's
guy
like,
that
okay,
comes to my gym. He's retired and he used to work on Wall Street. And I asked him about it. And I was like, what is wrong with these people? And he said he thinks, from when he worked there, he thinks it's just that people are told a story from the time that they're young. That if you just get to this point, everything will be okay. And then they get there, and it's not okay. And they lose their shit. Because they're like, I did it all. I did everything they said that I was supposed to do. I did it. Now I'm here, and shit's still fucked up.
I mean, shit, look at what happened with, like, Robin Williams, man. This motherfucker hung himself. You know?
well, he
And that
was already
motherfucker was
suffering
rich.
through depression anyway.
Yeah, but I'm saying, look how rich he was. You see what I'm saying? Look at how rich Michael Jackson was, and he got caught up in that bullshit.
But they was sacrificing. I feel like, well, I ain't gonna say it like that, but I feel like it was to the point where the media was doing everything they could to tear Mike down in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He was in the media since he was around, by 5 or 6, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's to the point where that shit will actually like weigh a toll on you. It's not like me at my age, and my age being 31. I've been doing this for a while, and I'm doing it. And most people are like, man, you still doing this? Yeah, because I love doing this. What the fuck is the point? But it's like if I would have did this in my 20s and not knowing what I know now, I would probably be in a fucked up position. But me right now as a grown man and having my head on my shoulders and understanding how the game works and understanding how life works, I can see through the bullshit automatically and be like, nah, you're not about to have that shit in my fucking face. That's how it is most of the time. If you don't have that mindset of like, okay, I know this industry is bullshit. I know it actually can throw a whole bunch of retarded ass, dumb ass shit at me at any time, and it can actually chew me up and spit me out at any time, but I'm ready for it because I know what's ahead of me. Kurt Cobain didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? That's why, in a lot of ways, a lot of people actually have those theories of like why Kurt Cobain actually killed himself. It could have been many things. It could have been many things. But at the same time, a lot of people say they're ready for this shit, but some people aren't ready for this shit like they say they are because it will really fuck you up in a lot of ways.
But can I say this? How many artists do you know that really made money from dealing with record companies? Like you really know that you made money.
It's not that many because a lot of them don't understand how the business works.
Right.
Like Michael Jackson was the only person to actually own a major label. Like this motherfucker owned Sony at a time. You know what I'm saying? And he
Yep.
did it by actually getting through their loophole they tried to get him with. So it backfired on them, and he ended up. That's when he dropped that Invincible album. Why it didn't do so well. They ended up trying to fuck him over because it only sold 1 million because they tried to get back at him because he bought Sony. And I'm like, that's some good business. I'm like, if you bought a fucking major label, you have everybody's royalties and publishing and all. That's a nice business move you just made. But people don't even want to understand the business and how it's run. They don't even want to actually do research about this. Like when me and Lethal talked about this shit, it was to the point where like, oh, I see he actually understands what I'm talking about. So it's no big thing. So it's like so easy to talk to him about this shit. You know what I'm saying? The same thing about me and my brother. We talk about this all the time since we run the label together. We run our label together. But when you talk to your average so-called rapper or musician, they don't know shit about this or care to know about this. And I don't understand why. I'm like, look, I love the creative side. I love the musical side. But I'd be damned if they try to fuck me with no Vaseline.
Dude, do you know? Dude, you know how many people that I've talking to that do music? I'm the only one in my circle that know what a 360 deal is.
Wow.
Are you serious?
No bullshit.
They don't know what a 360 is?
No, only one person because I schooled them on it. The other people, they're like, 360 deal? I'm like, yo, niggas don't know what a 360 deal is?
I got a question for you. On that note right there, I want to thank you guys for coming out to the show. Please like, share, subscribe, and definitely hit that donate button down there. But tell us, what is a 360 deal? Because I don't know.
Okay, what a 360 deal is, this is a new, actually, to give you a little backstory on this, this was something that was implemented. Hold that thought. Hold on.
That's a $50 Xbox, right?
Mute it out. Mute it out.
Okay, I'm back. So basically what a 360 deal is, it was something that was implemented in 2007, I believe, because labels started losing money because of the shift in technology and quote-unquote piracy or whatnot. So what the 360 deals is
ringtones and whatnot, they try to capitalize on that.
Right. So now with the 360 deals, what this basically means is every piece of an artist's income, they getting a piece of. So if they doing tours, they getting a piece of that. They getting a piece of album sales. They getting a piece of. See, that's why they started doing it because they weren't making money off album sales anymore. So now they getting a piece of they Spotify, they royalties, they merchandise, they touring, they licensing,
everything they own.
Right. Every time they make $1, you get something. Basically, what it is.
And that usually come about because they give you, like you say, they basically front you. This is how they get you now. They front you.
Advancing.
They give you advance. They front you.
Right.
And that's how they always, that's how they begin these artists. They be giving them the advances, them big advances. Then, like he said, they turn around and say, hey, okay, after that, we go on out of this. And then at the same time, you still got to pay back that advance.
Yep.
But
this is most people don't understand.
The advances isn't that high anymore.
Interest. So,
yeah, it's to the fact that okay, let's say if I gave you a $3 million deal, a $3 million advance, you thinking like, oh snap, I'm making money now. No, you got to pay that back. So once you actually use that, that's all basically for. Let's say you got studio time to pay for. If you don't have your own studio time, you got to pay for that. That's everything you paying for. You paying for all this shit. That's what all this you paying for. You not getting shit back. You paying for studio time. Sometimes wardrobe. You got to pay for the videos. You got to pay for the marketing promotion. You have to pay for all this expensive living expenses, everything. Then now your album drops. Let's say your album goes platinum. Back in the day, it was what you get 22 cents an album. Off the dollar, 22 cents off the dollar.
Right.
You ain't making shit. You still gotta pay them back. You still gotta pay that $3 million back. You gotta recoup. You still ain't got you still gotta pay that money back. Everything you actually do, you still gotta pay back. So until that's paid back, that shit still have to be spread out. Then you gotta get your money. You might not actually make shit off that. Most people might.
That's what happened to TLC. That's what happened to TLC.
Yeah, each unit you not gonna get shit back. That's why in the independent world, whatever you put out and actually spend, most of the time you will get back. You'll get that 80 to 90% back.
Exactly.
But
Right.
see, don't forget, like the advances aren't even that high anymore. I mean,
No, they're not.
back then the
Yeah, I agree. They're
advances
not.
used to be real high, but the thing is now the
Oh,
advances are lower,
that's because the market's
on
oversaturated, though.
that too, and
Well,
craft
not.
music and the industry is suffering. But at the same
Yeah.
time, that's why there was a demand for no-name producers, because then they can go find a no-name producer, pay him $2,500 instead of going to a big name dude and paying him $100,000 for a beat.
Right. That's when the market kind of got cornered when you had when it was oversaturated and you kind of had to the point where the independent artists, the mainstream, not mainstream, the major labels pretty much need the independent artists. So in a way, it's like, okay, we can't run this machine by ourselves no more. We need to stay afloat. So we'll get an independent artist that's hot. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, we can give you it can be a publishing deal or a record deal or a recording deal, a production deal, or just some marketing promotion deal. Most people don't actually get joint ventures like talking about, because joint ventures, they look like they mostly lose out in a lot of ways, because you can still own your music, own your royalty, own your own publishing and everything, and own your own masters when it comes to joint ventures. A lot of people don't know that when it comes to a joint venture, you still in control too. And when it comes to like the making of the music, most people don't even like reach in to have creative control for their albums either. That's why you hear like they first album, you might have creative control for that, but you wonder why some albums all sound all poppy and shit and sound all watered down in the second album. That's because there was a clause in there that actually covered that. It's like you can have creative control for one album, and they might actually word it a little bit different in the lingo if you actually don't read the contract right. It can say this and be like, okay, you can have one album that's creative control, but the second album and the rest of the albums, you might have a 3-album deal. Those 2 albums, you go sound like this. That's why some albums actually sound watered down and trashy.
Or not even
certain artists actually don't have.
I've heard that they've had
Fiasco.
times where it say, like you say, one album would be tight as fuck and the next one would be garbage, because they'll say in this contract you got to give us 2 albums.
Yeah. See, that's what happened. What a Trail was just talking about. That's what happened to Lupe Fiasco with the Lasers album. When it came down to that, they kept pushing it back because he would even tell you in a lot of interviews he hated that album because that album was forced. He didn't want to make that album like that, but they told him in order for it to come out, you gotta change. You gotta rap over these beats. You gotta rap about this. You gotta rap about that over these type of beats, and that was the only way he was able to get it put out. Otherwise, it would have stayed on the shelf.
I think people are trying to put out too much music too fast too. Like a lot of people have a really good freshman album, but they don't have a good sophomore album. Because you got to think about it. Before that freshman album, you had the entire time you've been making music up till that point to get that shit right. And then they're like, you need another album next year. So you might have been working for 10 years for the one, and then next year you're supposed to have another. Which is
prime example. Slipknot. Slipknot is a prime example. It took them 5 years to make their first self-titled album in '99. 5 years. Now, they were on the road for like 3 years. I think they were on the road for like 3 years or 2 years or whatnot. Yeah, they was on the road for 2 years. And they got off the road and they were so burnt out. I remember this interview. And it was like, the record labels called them like, yo, you got to make another record. And it was like, we just got off the fucking, which they will never make another Iowa album. I'm about to tell you why. They got off the road and they was like so burnt out. So it was like, Mick used this analogy. It was like to the point where, you know, it took your whole life to make your first album, which technically it does. It takes your whole life to make your first album, and you had a bunch of songs on there that didn't quite make it, that wasn't so good, but, you know, it still was a smash. Then all of a sudden you have a second album. They told you to go in here and make it, and now they saying make everything great. Just go in there and just make everything great. Everything on this album got to go and make me great. You know how fucking hard that is to do. And that album, of course, it came out as a classic, but it's the fact that and then on top of that, they didn't conform to how the industry standard should be. Most people actually in the industry, they'll be like, well, okay, since they want it, and they satisfied with it because they smash. They still trying to recoup off that first album. They still on that wave of that first album. So when it comes to that, some of them actually just be like, no, because a lot of them burnt out and they just try too hard. They try so hard to actually make that first album again, which you'll never be able to make ever. You'll never be able to remake your first album. And that's a lot of ways that happens like that. Some people crash and burn.
I saw an interview with Justin Timberlake, and he was saying that people put out too much music. He's like, I wait between 3 and 5 years between all of my albums, and I work with the same team every time. He's like, people need to stop switching producers, need to stop switching shit up. Only drop an album every 3 to 5 years, work with the same people. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Hey, that's what the hell Adele did. Shit. Like, after she did that 21 album, shit, she went off, had a baby, got married, or whatever the fuck. And then she popped back up with the 25 album. And the thing is, with her, especially that 21 album, like, she gave the people something they can relate to. Like, all that heartbreak shit, like, that was something that could connect with a lot of motherfuckers. And then she come back with this joint. And the thing about this 25 album, they had fucking sections in Walmart and Best Buy dedicated to this girl. They got her shit on vinyl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's a medium that people try to toss to the wayside. But what people don't know about vinyl is vinyl.
That shit popping up, dog.
It's been having an increase. Yep.
I believe Rihanna waited 4 years between albums too.
And I don't think CDs is going to buy that quick.
I buy CDs still. I buy them still.
That's what
I mean, I'll buy CDs before I buy MP3. Nah, it's not. It's actually over the last 3 years, they actually been like soaring in prices. I mean, not prices, but in sales. CD sales at least.
Because you can't beat a tangible product.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. The thing is about it when it comes to CDs, and I know I'm not the only person in here. When albums back in the day used to come out, I couldn't wait to go to the CD store and actually cop that certain album I was looking for. It was almost to the point where you felt like a kid on Christmas Day when that happened. Because MP3s are cool, they're convenient, but it's lazy as fuck. I can't read the art. I can't look at the art. I can't read the credits and shit. I got to go online and search who actually did what and whatnot. I feel like, to me, that's inconvenient to my uses. Whereas I can actually, the only problem I have with CDs is that fucking rapper. I can't stand the rappers on CDs. But
I'm going to talk about stuff though. Do y'all know CDs are still the best quality? It's still the best over MP3s.
The sound on them.
The sound it's just amazing. So they have yet to figure that out.
They not gonna be able to figure it out because the more you actually compress the sound, the shittier it sounds.
There you go. There you go.
It's not. That's how sound works. It's like you can compress that shit and you can put it in a wave all you want to. It sounds okay. Yeah, it sounds pretty good as wave. Wave is the best quality.
You got to know what you're doing, but you're right. You hit it on the head right there. So.
Yeah. It's like I was watching a documentary with Mike Shinoda and of Linkin Park, and he was talking about it too, as far as like, man, when I'm in the studio and I hear that sound come in through those monitors, man, I just lose my shit. And there was a bunch of other artists as well too, and a bunch of engineers, and they were saying the same thing. But it was like when it goes to MP3, I feel like all that work I did for people to hear this and be wild is like shitted up.
That's true.
And I'm like, I kind of feel that same way too, because when I hear my sound through my monitors and shit, I get excited as all hell. And I'm like, man, with this shit on CD, bro, I hope they actually lose their shit when they hear this in the car. Because I ain't gonna lie, when I first bought Good Kid, Mad City, and the first night it came out, which was on my phone on Amazon, I thought that was the best shit ever. But when I bought the CD and put it in my car, I'm like, damn, this shit sound completely different. I'm like, damn, I didn't even hear this sound. I didn't even hear this percussion kick in here. I didn't even know that. Like, it sound Mad City on headphones on a phone or MP3 player sound completely different when you have it in the car. It's to the point if you have it in the car, ooh, that's the nastiest shit ever.
See, that's
I hear ad-libs. I'm like, damn, you ad-libs in the song?
Right.
They'll figure out a way. They'll figure out a better way to encode.
But see, that's the thing, though. You figure, like, Wave and what's the other file format that's used on CDs? I think it's
Wave, you got MP3, yeah, you got FLAC. I think it's MP.
I know it's an MP4, but that could be in video format, depending.
Yeah, that's video.
Yeah. It's another MP, but I forgot the name of it.
You got MP3, MP4. You got ALAC, FLAC, Wave, AAC.
Damn, I used to know all these. I think
AAC.
Yeah.
Apple Audio Codec.
Okay. Oh, well, y'all know y'all shit. Never mind. Let me be quiet.
Yeah, Wave is the shit. Why you think when you get like for people who produce on there, when you send a beat, like let's say somebody buy a beat from you, you send it to them, they want the wave form.
Mm-hmm. It's lossless. It's a lossless codec. So anytime it's not compressed, so you get the full threshold of all the frequencies. Whenever you compress music, which is MP3 is a compression, has a compression, and this is my biggest gripe. I've been DJing for 15 years, so I've been in the change from analog format vinyl all the way into this digital age.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest problem we get from producers or record labels is that they code their shit in MP3 at 192 kilohertz. KPBS or whatever. Yeah. That shit sucks. If you're gonna use MP3, it should be no less than 320. 320 should be the standard for MP3. But you should always be sending it in Wave, FLAC, or what was the other one we were just talking about?
AC.
AAC is compressed. I think it's right on par with MP3. I think ALAC is the other uncompressed audio format.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, FLAC, ALAC, and Wave. Those are tip top shape. Those are the best things because a lot of times we as DJs, what we do is, and I use Ableton to make my edits. We'll take an instrumental to put an 8-bar intro and an 8-bar outro on the track, just for being able to mix in and out a lot easier. So if you send MP3, it's already compressed. Then we've got to recompress it, so it just degrades the audio each time. It's like making a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. The quality degrades.
My bad.
Hey, Trey.
But how you like the Ableton software?
For what I do, I just need something simple and straight to the point, and I love it. So
do you DJ with it?
No. Well, I do use aspects of it to DJ to record my sets. The mixers that I use are MIDI mixers, so the crossfader, the gains, the EQs, all that shit can be tracked in Ableton. So if I pull up my recording of my mix, you can see where the crossfader positions in. So if I mess up on a scratch or something, I can blend it in the way I want to, or I can take that scratch out. So I have full control over my edit, so I can get a perfect mixtape.
Because that software usually comes with its own compressors, right? They own compressors.
Yeah, Ableton has all that shit in there. I've just never used it from a producer standpoint because I don't produce any music.
Okay.
But as far as DJing, it works really well for making mixtapes. But I use Serato DJ and Serato Scratch Live.
Okay, I got it.
Hey, Trey,
DJ software.
What up, Lee?
Hey man, me and you gonna do a collaborative mixtape hosted by DJ Mad Less.
Nate Dogg.
DJ Mad Less.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you guys if you guys do release
I
music,
lose
make
that
sure
stuff.
it's
Yeah.
make sure it's in if you can, make sure it's in a lossless format because that's the best way for DJs to edit, make their own intros, outros, and shit like that without losing quality.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up?
My project that
Yeah.
I got on iTunes, I got it on my drive. It's the dude when I got it mastered, he sent it to me in a WAV format.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Lossless is the best.
I just got to figure out how to send my shits though without actually sending it through my email because in certain emails you only have a certain amount of bytes to actually like you can
Use
send through that. And
Dropbox.
Wave is
Yeah,
Dropbox.
Dropbox
Dropbox
or Google
space.
Drive.
Yeah.
Google Drive.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Google
right.
Drive, I think off the rip gives you 15 gigs of free space. Dropbox, I think gives you 2, but both of them, I think for $99 a year you can get a terabyte of space.
Okay. Cool. Because I need in case I want to send waves because I get tired of actually sending. I've sent a few. Well, I only sent them to my homie, and then he actually like shake them back up and he put them wave. I'll be like, okay, cool. He was like, nah, I can actually like bring it back up. So I'm like, good.
Wave lossless formats have been around for a long time. It was just 10 years ago there was an issue with space. So that's
Right.
why MP3 was the go-to for having a nice collection of music or storing music. But now that you can get a 2 terabyte pocket drive as big as a cell phone for $65, there's really no
Right.
excuse to be producing or recording in MP3 or exporting in MP3.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
The
Cause I know
only
that
time I'll put it in MP3 to listen to my shit.
but see,
Well, the
that's the
thing is
thing.
with MP3s with compressed music, it's okay to play through your cell phone or through some
Yeah.
headphones, but the issue is when you get in the big venues that have a $50,000-$60,000 sound system, 20
Oh yeah,
plus
yeah. That
speakers, you
shit
can
sounds
really,
shitty. Yeah.
yeah, you can really really hear the difference between something that's uncompressed and compressed.
Right. And majority of like my and I don't even use backing tracks when it comes to like live performances. I rather have it to the point where I use my cardio and my voice because backing tracks don't really sound right with me sometimes. Like I rarely use backing tracks. That is, it's a rare occasion if I use backing tracks when I'm performing. Like no, that's a no with me.
Yeah,
Because
most of the
I
most of the
notice a lot of
artists.
artists.
Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, bro.
What? Yeah, you're right. Most of the artists don't even do that. When it comes to the art of performing too, a lot of the artists don't hone that either. It's to the point where you can see that they didn't give a fuck about it. They only worry about their damn check. I've been only to maybe like 4 concerts in my lifetime, and I
Yeah,
can say out of those 4, I actually enjoyed all 4. But they were people I really wanted to see, and they gave
yeah,
me a hell of a show.
yeah.
But I've watched concerts of certain artists, and I'm like, just to see how, because I've been hearing certain artists, I'm like, let me just check to see how this dude perform. When I see him perform, I'll be like, get the fuck out of here! You let the whole backing track just do the work for you. All you did was just yell. Like, come on, man. It's like people pay their hard-earned money. They want to see you. You know, if you ain't sweating by the end of the show, bro, you don't need to be up there.
Well,
But
most
Trey,
of my experience with artists, I've opened up for several like B-list celebrities, artists and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. Most of them are fucking trash by the time they get on the stage because they're in the green room smoking weed, popping pills, drinking. So most of the tracks that I've gotten ahead of time to play for their performances have been track backing tracks. Because
Yeah.
it saves their ass because they're just so fucked up by the time they get on stage.
okay, Trey,
I got a rule. Yeah, yeah.
let me ask
What
you a
up?
question. You've done live performances before?
Yeah, I've done live performances before.
Okay. So what is the technique behind what's this thing called breath control? What's the
Okay, that's
technique
based on your
behind
card,
making
and
sure
I
you're
do that a
going?
lot.
Trey, you recognize
Okay,
that CD?
Iowa.
You recognize
Hell
the CD?
yeah,
Yeah, I've been looking for it all this
Iowa.
time.
Shit, yeah. And that's Iowa, the actual title track. That's actually the lyrics on the CD cover. I mean, on the CD
Is it really? I never knew that.
art,
Hell yeah.
which is a dope ass album. Yes, a lot
What
of people
album is
don't know
that?
that. Yeah, read it and you'll see.
Let's see what else I
That's
got.
why it's actually related.
You probably
Slipknot
can't see it.
Iowa, their second album.
Linkin Park.
Oh shit.
I got all the CDs, man.
I'm
I
gonna
used
end up
to
pulling
buy a
up
lot of
my
CDs.
shit and let you see mine.
I got so
Hey,
many
who is
CDs, it's crazy.
Hey, Justin.
What?
But to
Rob
answer your
Zombie?
question, Lethal, basically,
Go ahead.
oh shit,
Yeah.
hybrid theory.
Yep. Hybrid Theory.
Hell yeah.
You know we ain't supposed to be listening to that white boy shit.
You got corn. You know the album coming out.
I got like 4 Korn albums. I can't find them all though.
Do y'all fuck with Five Finger Death Punch?
I got the digital version
Oh
of that.
hell
I
yeah.
got something you probably never heard of, but
What?
it's called Candiria.
Road
You heard of Candiria?
tonight.
Five Finger Death Punch wins all of the awards for best band name. Like it's over with.
You making me
No
feel
longer
old
name
and
your
shit. This
band.
was when I was in high school.
You can no longer name your band after Five Finger Death Punch. Everybody should just do their band name as their name. Five Finger Death Punch wins the competition.
You fucking right.
So do anybody listen to Metallica anymore? I don't really hear about them anymore. I'm from those like that Enter Sandman. They used to be like the football like ready song, you know. That
Tool.
high.
That's
That's because
Tool.
fucking Metallica went and pissed off the internet. You can't do that.
Oh wow.
You can't piss off the whole internet.
Man. Then that Nevada Teen Spirit, that used to just be that football song, just getting you ready.
Metallica was a band that got me into rock music, only because they had this TV show called The Box back in the day.
Yeah.
And you could order music, and before they put in the rules, you could order the same song over and over again. And a Metallica song, Enter the Sandman, must have played like 18 times in a row. I got brainwashed into liking it.
I see. It was just something about it. It just, I don't know. It's one of them adrenaline, just like pumps you up, like so. I mean, the first time I heard it was at football practice, so I was just like, okay, interesting, but
And Metallica is gateway metal.
yeah, I mean, hey,
There's some heavier stuff out there.
but that's also like with Linkin Park, you know. I mean, when I was in the military, that's how I came about with them guys. So, you know, I'm still on, you know, EPMD, Redman. I keep naming them. Oh no, Devin
Wu-Tang
dude.
Clan.
I was more of a Devin dude at that time. Too short type listen at that time, but still. But
Anybody remember Gangsta Nip?
Gangsta who?
Gangsta Nip, he was from Houston. Horrorcore rapper. He was signed with Rap a Lot.
no, I don't really remember him. I remember
Look up
South.
Look up South Park Psycho on YouTube. The whole album is on there. The album is out of print now, but that shit was fucking insane.
Oh
Like
wow.
if you want to hear some old outlandish, some like a black rapper talking some outlandish shit. Okay, who remember that guy from Detroit, Esham? Who remember him?
That's hardcore rap.
Yeah, that guy was sadistic. Oh my, I couldn't even listen to that shit. That was
That's-
horrible.
That's
Yeah,
hardcore
like-
rap.
Yeah, well, horrorcore, yeah. That shit, yeah. Gangsta Nip.
But I'm from back then when they had groups like the Dalton Family, Top Authority. I mean,
Oh yeah, that was my niggas.
you know, but you know, like as time went on, it was like, okay, you know, I don't want to keep hearing one for I got to pop you and kill you and throw you in the trunk type shit. You know, that's why I kind of went for a Devin dude because I like his sound and you know, and I was smoking weed too, you know, so I love that smooth sound. I was getting older. That's what I, you know, wanted to hear some smooth shit. So that hardcore rap shit, I kind of was like, nah. No.
I was big into like Wu-Tang, Onyx.
Oh yeah, Onyx.
Yep. That's balls.
I don't
That
know.
hardcore shit, though.
I like when the South Outcasts and them came. That sound came. The Goody Mob. That's what I mean. That's what I leashed on to was that sound. You know, I love that.
Yeah.
You like that smooth soul sound though. That's
So
what Goody
yeah,
Mob was.
that's what you know. What I mean, that's
I was all over the place as a kid. It was to the point where I remember the first time I can remember when I heard hip hop and remember the rhyme was Mine Playing Tricks on Me by the Ghetto Boy. And I remember when that shit came out, I remember everybody's rhymes. I can't remember them now, but I remembered everybody's rhymes like growing up. And as I started to listen more and more, I was like in my uncle's collection because he had everything. He was really and still is a big Wu-Tang fan. So it's like I had listened to all Wu shit. I was listening to Jay-Z when he first came out in '96. A lot of people didn't pay attention to Jay-Z back then. But his first album will always be his best album, hands down. That's after that was like, okay.
But people say it's a classic. To me, it's like
It
two,
is.
three songs on there I like.
No.
I'm just
See,
saying.
what you got to do is play it from the beginning to
Mhm.
the end, and it's like only one song I could say that, but that was a bonus track, and that was "Can I Live" Part 2. But every song on that bitch, roll like The Evils were the beat was done by Primo. That was the coldest shit ever.
Yeah,
Like pre, huh?
it was more so the songs that didn't go mainstream was the songs I liked on the album.
But it's like Can't Knock the Hustle was dope. Politics as Usual was dope. Brooklyn's Finest with Biggie, that was dope as shit.
That was dope. That's what I'm saying.
We had Dead Presidents Part 2, which wasn't on the radio. Dead Presidents 1 was on the radio.
Right.
Then you had Feeling It. Feeling It was definitely dope.
Yeah.
And this is all in song order without me reading this shit too.
Right, I know, but
after Feeling It, you had the Evils. Then after Evils, you had 22 Twos. After 22 Twos, you had the first Can I Live, which was dope as hell. That's when Irv Gotti actually got his chance to shine at that time. Because a lot of people don't know Ashanti that's on that dun 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 dun. That's where Ashanti actually got that from. That was Jay shit at first.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Then after that, you had what's the name of that damn song with Foxy Brown? That was when Foxy Brown first came out. Ain't no nigga, yeah. And after Ain't No Nigga, you had Coming of Age, which actually gave Memphis Bleak his first shine, which I thought was a dope ass line that he actually did. I mean, he had a couple of bars in there that were dope. And after that, you had Cashmere Thoughts was like okay, but my favorite joint on there is Bring It On, when you had Money Sauce, Jazz-O on it. And actually, to me, Money Sauce had one of the best verses next to Jazz-O. Jay-Z verse was okay, but Jazz-O came in and killed Jay on some shit. It was to the point where his syllable game was like unmatched.
But that's what they were saying basically what Jay-Z got his style from. But I mean that's a whole different story. But
Jay actually started his actually Jay got his style from Nas, and a lot of people don't know that because the thing is nobody was rapping like Kool G rap at first except Nas. Nas came out and actually was rhyming like Kool G rap, and when Kool G rap was always Nas' main influence. That's why when he dropped Illmatic, the way he dropped, it was like a lot of people gravitated to it because it was like, oh shit, this is different. It's like Kool G rap, but it's not Kool G rap. Right. And this shit, it's been a while since I heard lyrics like that and metaphors that was to the point where it wasn't corny. You know what I'm saying? When you bass heads looking for broken amps, nobody was saying that shit like that at that time. In 94, 93, 94, nobody was saying that like that. But then on the other hand, you had Biggie at the first, because it was like the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
When you had the lyrical, you was Nas at that time. Nas came out and dropped a whole, it was only, 9 songs on the album. And it was to the point where nobody ever heard no shit like this in a long ass time.
Illmatic, man.
Yeah, that's a class. That's pretty much the hip hop Bible. It's to the point if you want to learn how to write lyrics and learn how to come up with clean lyrics, listen to that album from front to back and study it. And study the syllable game, study the metaphors themselves. You'll be on point. If anybody want to learn how to write rhymes the right way, that's how I did it. I actually challenged myself by listening to rhyme Nas shit. And then on top of that, he had AZ on Life's a Bitch. A lot of people didn't know that was AZ at that time.
AZ is so underrated, man.
I know, man.
Oh, God.
Hey, Trey, you brought up that you brought up that Jay-Z song, "Can I Live?"
Yeah,
Um, he said Ashanti got it from him. That actually
yeah.
came from Isaac Hayes,
Isaac
The
Hayes,
Look of
yeah,
Love.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was Isaac Hayes at first, yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
because that was when Irv Gotti actually sampled that song, and it was to the point they broke it down. And I remember
yeah.
when I first like heard it, I was like, "Damn, this shit's cold as shit." That's just like that. Ain't no nigga. It was to the point where like, ain't no loving like the one I got. I mean, even Bring It On. I'm still trying to figure out that sample that Primo used for Bring It On. I think he either
Who was
made
it?
that shit himself, or the song Bring It On by Jay-Z. If you listen to that song, and that's like one of my
How
favorite
does the
beats.
hook go?
Bring it on if you think you can hang, and if not, then let me do my thing. That was really Fat Joe he sampled, but the actual instrumental, if you look up right now, oh shit. But if you, it's all good. But if you look up the instrumental, go up there and look the instrumental. Bring It On Jay-Z instrumental. Listen to that instrumental, and you'll understand why I love that instrumental so much. Because it'll put you in the mood, but it's also the perfect track to actually like freestyle and do. Even though I don't like freestyling because I feel like it's a waste of material, but even though that's the perfect song to just like get off on for real. That's like one of the perfect shits. If like you want to have your homeboys have a cipher on, that's like the perfect song to do it on. And it was done by Primo, and that shit was done flawlessly.
What was your favorite Busta Rhymes album?
ELE, ELE, and it's between actually, you know what? I'm gonna retract that. The Coming, his very first album, because my favorite song on there, my favorite song on there is Everything's Raw by who did that? Easy Mo Beats did that track.
What's the album he have when he's with I just got the song when he did the coming to America thing for his video.
Oh, that was
What is the name of
shit.
that?
When disaster? No, not when disaster.
I think it was the because he's yelling on the cover.
Yelling on all the covers. It's Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, true, but
no, in ELE, he wasn't doing nothing. All you saw was the world being destroyed. I remember that commercial.
Right, because
it was to the point where it was like, man,
that was that Busta Rhymes was Hands Where My Eyes Can See, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was with Disaster Strikes, I think is the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he the
one.
one.
I'll tell you what, I really like Busta Rhymes when he was with Leaders of the New School. That was my favorite Busta Rhymes.
Oh, he's still up north, man.
Oh, I like when he got up with that produce. Them videos he was putting out, man. When he did that Last Dragon, oh man, he killed it.
Yeah, with a Tribe Called Quest. That was off the Low End Theory album.
No,
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that was Scenario off the Tribe Called Quest when he did Scenario when he was like rah rah like a Dungeon Dragon. That was off Scenario.
No. He did. You remember the movie The Last Dragon?
Oh yeah, that was off.
You remember he did showing up in the video?
Yeah, that was Dangerous.
Yeah, Dangerous. There you go.
So you can tell.
That's when, but I was like, wow, them videos, because that's when Missy Elliott and then was doing them type of videos. But when Busta Rhymes, that's when I really liked Busta Rhymes because he transcended the videos. He stepped the game up. So
yeah, but at that time it was shiny as hell. But my man DMX came in around like what 98 and turned that bitch back to darkness. And I was like, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna lie, man. That album, is crazy. But I ain't gonna lie, that album actually helped me out through a hard time, man, in high school, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That album helped save my life in a lot of ways that a lot of people will never understand. It was to the point where
I could believe
it helped me out in so much of a dark time. These were the albums I actually needed to get by in high school. It was that album. It was Korn. I had everything that was Korn at that time. Rage I was listening to. Eminem was actually a help. I had Linkin Park at the end of my around like 11th grade.
You can tell.
I had Linkin Park around that time.
What kind of music they listen to. It's weird.
No, my bad. I was in.
Did he cut?
Wait, what happened?
We listening?
Let's see, what else I was listening to at that time. I was listening to Pastor Troy, but the main albums that
Pastor
really
Troy,
helped
oh
me,
my God.
Right. What's that song?
yeah,
Heaven and Hell. Oh my God, that song
oh,
was
vice versa. You
yeah.
talking about vice versa?
Vice
Yeah,
versa. That
That's
song
off
was so
Face
deep
Off.
to me. That song was so. I still play that song to this day, man.
I wasn't big
yeah, I
into
do.
rap, but E40 was my guy back in the
Oh,
day.
E40.
E40, yeah, E40.
Spice One.
This sound
Spice
like
One.
milk. Sound like water. Ooh.
Ooh.
He just sound different.
Yeah,
I like rappers that sound different.
right, man.
I like about
E40, bro. I remember when I first heard E40 and I was in 10th grade. And my uncle actually was bumping E40 a lot back then, like in 97 or whatnot. But when I
Dude,
was in like
him
10th
and,
grade,
what's him and his group, man?
The Click.
The Click. Him and, him and the
yeah.
Click.
That was
And I
back
remember
when
when I
music was
first,
still regional, though.
Yeah, but the way
yeah,
Cause,
they was getting up there, man. They was coming.
Cause you can listen to like all the people y'all been naming. It's like, oh, y'all from up north.
Right.
I was from down south, so we were listening to like
but no, see,
Ludacris and shit like
I
that.
was, yeah, around that time, that was when Word of Mouth came out when I was in 9th grade and shit. So
Yep.
Well, honestly, I'm
I was listening
Midwest.
to everything, but I grew up on East Coast shit though.
Right.
Ludacris,
And that's
Trick
what I grew
Daddy,
up on,
all
East
that.
Coast. I was Midwest. I grew up on East Coast. Now, once we stopped, Twister and them stopped coming, then yeah, it was Midwest. Bone. I mean,
Yeah.
Home
Yeah, no,
Thugs.
yeah, I grew up to the point where I was listening. Yeah, Crucial Conflict, Bone. I
mm,
remember the first time I heard Bone was when I heard Thuggish Ruggish Bone, and I was
yeah,
like, "Who the fuck are these
yeah,
dudes?" This
yeah.
shit, and
The
I'm pretty
hot
sure
beat.
everybody remember the box back in the day where they had you actually buy
Right, you
you
buy
had
the
to
Yeah,
buy your
videos.
music
Yeah, yeah.
box.
that's how I heard of Rage Against
Yeah,
the Machine.
I got in trouble
yeah,
because I had did it. My mother phone bill was.
yeah. Them shit. You couldn't do that shit for too long, but every time I called, my shit was always busy. But everybody played the videos I wanted to watch anyway, so I ain't have to worry about paying for shit. But
I just
I
said,
remember
oh,
when Bone Thugs came out, and I was like, bruh, who the fuck is this? Like, seriously? And you had the
yeah.
group that was doing This Is For My Homie. They played that shit. If
Dirty
you didn't
Round.
have
Oh,
cable,
Gangsta
you was going to
Lean.
watch the
Gangsta Lean.
same shit over and over.
Right.
Yeah.
Gangsta Lean.
Who remember
Oh,
Spice
See, if
One?
you didn't have cable, you'll be watching that video over and over all night long. But if you had cable, you'll be watching so many different videos from other people
I
who
know
actually
number
ordering
Spice One.
every night. It should be crazy.
My brother got
This is
mad as
before
hell as me.
MTV.
My brother was 4 years older than me, and he'd get mad as hell. I steal all his shit, all his CDs.
Remember Spice
Do
One?
the
So
same.
I was listening to
Oh,
shit
hell
I had
yeah.
no business to be listening to when I was like 12.
Right. I used to,
Same.
because I'm the youngest out of two boys. I'm the youngest.
I'm the oldest.
That's all I used to do. I used to.
But
Hey, do y'all
My
remember
father,
Boss?
hold on. My father used to listen to like. Y'all remember the breakdance and Beat Street and all that, breaking and all that. I used to steal them vinyls. I used to take his little records and turn around and be trying to scratch on it on the. Thinking that I ain't did no
I
damage
tried
to.
that shit too.
Man, he turned around, but you know, I was the youngest out of three boys, so I was like, I ain't do it. I ain't do nothing.
That's a
They used to get
damn
a
shit.
no, I'm the one sitting here trying to scratch and shit like.
Hey, if you guys are into instrumentals, one of my favorite instrumental albums,
New
and by
Jive.
another artist that was underrated before he got big was Will I Am.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I like Black Eyed Peas before Fergie. Like my favorite joint by Black Eyed Peas was Falling Up.
Well, I'm talking pre-Black Eyed Peas. This
Oh,
is
okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm talking. This is before Will I Am got big with. This is when he was underground mainstream. He's got a he dropped the album. I can't remember the name now. I got that shit in the garage, but it's all instrumentals, man. I mean, I grew up listening to like true hip hop. Slum
Right.
Village, Jay Dilla.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That type of laid
Donuts.
back. Yeah, that type of
Donuts.
laid back shit.
Matter of fact,
That's here in Detroit. That was the big thing because Slum Village, put Detroit on the map for
raise
the
it up,
underground scene.
raise it
I
up.
got I got that
Raise it up is still
last
my shit.
Yeah, raise it up.
I,
Yeah, yeah.
Les, I got the J Dilla Donuts album. The
Oh yeah,
mixtape.
yeah.
Ooh, you got a
I've
classic
got
on your hand, homie.
yeah, I've got all of Jay Dilla's shit, man. All of them
I got some
guys,
Ninth
man.
Wonder beat tapes too. Y'all fuck with Ninth
Oh,
Wonder?
did he just say Ninth Wonder?
Matter
That's that's my
Yeah.
Yeah.
nigga there.
Matter of
Yeah.
fact, is anybody in here listening to New Jobbies or Fat John or Substantial? Anybody in here listening to New Jobbies?
No, I've
Anybody
never
know
heard
who
of.
New Jobbies is?
I know her.
Seriously? Okay, let me explain to you who New Jobbies is. New Jobbies, he's been deceased for like maybe 4 years, I think. But anyway, he's like the Jay Dilla to Japan.
Okay.
I kid you not. Look up New Jobbies. Look up what name of song? Highs and Lows by New Jobbies. Listen to that. Substantial is the one who's rhyming, but the beats itself is New Jobbies. He incorporates jazz, man, bruh. Beat
Yeah,
takes
that's the
out of
type of
my
shit I
mind.
like, man. That's the type of shit I like. That
Matter of fact,
like
look it up
all
right
that
now
hip
and
hop,
tell me.
all that hip hop, that like really jazzy hip hop, like
Yeah, me too.
Talib Kweli,
Big
High
Ol'
Tech.
Planet.
Yeah, all them guys. That's the shit that's my favorite type of hip hop.
That's what I like too. That's why I kind of once the South was coming like with that soul type of that neo soul mixture type jazz
Yeah.
sound.
Yep.
Love that. I love that sound. I love that sound. It's
There's
just
an R&B
Man.
artist from Detroit called Dwele.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
If
yeah,
you guys have
Diwali,
heard of him.
yeah,
Yeah. Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. He's.
yeah. Dude is nasty, bruh.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
y'all talking about underground? Atreyu, you know about Nicolay and foreign exchange?
I know about foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, take off the blues. Yeah, that's my shit, dog.
that's
Yeah,
what's
man.
up, man. I'm
I
big
fucks with them,
what you
and I
got.
fucks with Little Brother heavy.
Now, little brother is. I ain't gonna lie. That minstrel show, that album is still a classic, dog.
That's my shit. No, the listening was dope too, though, boy. Don't get it twisted.
I ain't say nothing about that, but
That
see, I was just letting
listening,
people know.
that shit was nuts, boy. Nigga. But that minstrel show, I was just bumping that shit last week. I was like, man. Ninth
Bro,
Wonder,
that shit
that's
was
one of my
crazy,
favorite
dog.
producers, dude. Him and Alchemist.
What's up?
My favorites.
The Alchemist
Let's
is dope
see.
as hell.
Primo holds a special spot in my heart, man. I don't give a shit
hell
what
yeah.
nobody say. Primo, it's like if,
Yeah, right now, Dre, man, you got to let y'all play some of these songs people that haven't heard, you know? Get an opportunity
right.
to have a music.
Well, what we'll
That
do too,
album fucked up
after
my
the
whole
show,
life when I. Whoop.
wait a minute, after the show, when we go offline, we'll let you play music.
Yeah, I can't play it over YouTube.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
got
yeah,
flagged.
yeah.
Right. Also, too, like I said, if you guys with businesses right now, if you want to shout out your companies, go ahead and do that right now, please. Anybody in the area can patronize you.
Nah, I mean, me personally, they suck, so.
You understand? I'll allow that. You know.
I love you, Job. That's all I'm going to say about you.
Hey, Andre, they got any
Les.
streets named after Bone Thugs and Harmony there?
Say what?
They got any streets named after Bone Thugs and Harmony there?
Not that I know of. I wouldn't be surprised though. I don't follow too much. I hate to say something, man. Just to give you an example how my life virtually revolves, I watch very little TV. That's why, like, the only time I really started, I watch more TV, Solly, in the last month than I have probably all year. And the only reason why is because when I was running shows, I wanted to stay up on current events because there's something to talk about. I'm going to start watching a little bit more TV now, especially because, you know, I'm running my own show now, so I need to help it grow and give us more topics to talk about. We're not going to sit here and talk about bashing black women all day.
Damn.
But don't worry, they're not immune. We definitely gonna get on them here and there.
Yeah. Do we gotta call
Your
them black?
mama black.
Huh?
Do we gotta call them black bitches? And we just say you.
No, we don't. You can call them whatever you want to call them.
You better call them Queen.
Queens alone.
Hell wrong.
You know what, Josh?
I'll call
You know
them
what,
Dairy
David?
Queen.
You ain't gonna hear that out my mouth.
Hey, man. How you gonna be disrespectful to Dairy Queen like that?
Joshua,
Spain.
you better call them queens. Anything else we should do, Joshua?
Just respect Kemet and call them queens.
Just let everybody know they mama black.
We'll let people know that they mama black. Okay.
Hey, I know, right?
Oh, I got high
Your
as
mama black? Hey, my mama ain't black, but yeah, good, yeah.
I got high as shit earlier, and I had to listen to this like 2-hour speech of this guy telling me how white people were made on an island off the coast of Greece by having like 12-year-olds being raped by albinos, so they lost all their melanin.
Oh wow!
Over the course of 300 years.
I'm enjoying this conversation, even though I don't know nothing about the music industry. I mean, I don't know nothing about the music industry, but I will admit I'm learning a lot tonight. I've heard somebody say, "What is it?"
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of information.
I mean, I have a lot
Yeah,
of
man.
information.
That's never
I'm
a good
learning.
thing.
I'm learning from you guys.
Right.
Ito is like an information powerhouse, but with music.
Like, especially like with Leslie and that, was talking about the wave format and what format you should use. Like, that's one of the things I did start using back in the day. Like, when they would compress, I would never compress it, and I would always use a higher than, like, if the computer was set to record my MP3s at this, I would always bump it up higher. I figure I would, me, I was a computer guy. I'd rather go out and buy an extra hard drive than to have to recompress those files at a higher format later.
Right.
Look, let me tell you something, man. I've got 12 hard drives, ranging between 2 and 4 terabytes that I back up all my music on. I've literally got probably about I've probably got about 120,000 music videos.
Wow.
And tracks, I probably got about a little over 500,000 songs, 500,000 tracks.
Believe it. I mean, I'm not even close to that, but damn. You were saying terabyte, I could tell you don't be playing around.
Oh no, I'm subscribed to four record pools and in one video pool, so I get like all those views because I spin video too. When I use Serato, I load the video into the program and it runs it out of my computer via HDMI.
For TV?
And so like projectors, clubs with a bunch of I'll tap into their distribution systems for all their TVs and shit like that.
Right.
And as I'm spinning the record, when I'm scratching back and forth, like the video moves back and forth too. So I'm actually manipulating the actual video.
That's what's up.
Oh, that's awesome shit. Yeah, we definitely got to go to one of your things.
Leslie.
What's up?
You need to take your ass abroad.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
You'll make a killing over there.
Could you blend the you know how you blend the songs? Can you blend the video? Like you going from one song to the next, can you do the same with the video?
Yeah, the Crossfader's MIDI maps. So I probably got about 60 to 70 transitions. And like flip the screens around. It'll blend the videos, whatever. So as I'm scratching, it's going from one turntable to the other table, and it blends it right into the next track, just like a record. But you see everything on screen, So as I'm like scratching and cutting that crossfader, you'll see my crossfader movements in the screen and shit as I'm transitioning.
That's tight. That's what I mean about technology, and that's what I try to speak about. And me personally though, I'm still back in. I like my studio monitors and my mics because with me it's not that serious. But with you guys, I mean, y'all transcending the game, and that's what's up, man.
Right.
You need to keep speaking on it.
All y'all need to go to an EDM show.
I've been to one, and that shit is so fun.
Best shows. Like, I've been to rap concerts, I've been to rock concerts.
Look.
I even been to, like, some country concerts and shit. EDM concerts are the most fun thing to go to.
Look, Josh.
I've been to one, and that shit is all so fun, man.
I've been to San Diego when I was in the military. I've been to a rave, man, and I was off ecstasy, man. I think after that, man, I don't think I need to go any other parties, man. I'm cool. I don't want to see no Neo lights and shit like that, man. I think I'm just talking shit though, but I'm cool. I want to ask.
We have raves around here.
I'm good. I don't want to see that shit again.
I'm saying I wasn't rolling. I was just in there motherfucker having a good time. And it was to the point where you don't have to go in there and roll. They had a few people that wasn't rolling, but they had a few people that were rolling. And it was to the point where I'm in there.
It's a totally different vibe. Like, nobody was ever worried about getting shot at an EDM concert.
Hell no. Wait, they're in a metal concert. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna lie.
not metal concert.
When I went to a Saliva concert, bruh, my small ass got thrown in the fucking mosh pit. And I wasn't even trying to be in a mosh pit for real. I'm at the front of the barricades, and next thing you know, I'm like, whoa, the fucking crowd, oh shit, got swung and I felt like I was in a damn whirlpool. I got swung in the middle of the damn mosh pit, got swung back in my same spot. Huh?
What's a mosh pit?
Oh man.
Okay, all right. To describe a mosh pit, let me describe a mosh pit.
Don't be
It's a circle
short.
of
That's
people.
one.
Yeah, that's true. Don't be
Well,
short.
yeah. Don't be short, and if you too big, you will get fucked up.
Yeah.
It's basically a whole bunch of people actually clashing together in like a big ass whirlpool, and they actually go into the rhythm of the music, and they're going to the energy of the music mostly. So if you are most people my size survive. Dudes bigger than me end up getting their face broken in. Because you will get an elbow, you will get hit. In certain ways, you will get hit.
Okay.
And you have to be careful in certain cases.
Not to cut them off, go type up Onyx Slam. That give you an idea of what that is.
Yeah. And mosh pits are fun, but if you ain't built for that shit, don't go in it.
You know, you ain't ready for it.
Sometimes,
Not go in it. I
You
agree.
gotta keep your head on a swivel too.
well, not only that, it's the fact that I got slung in this shit. And when I got slung in it, I got slung in the mosh pit and got slung back to the same spot I was in. The entire crowd shifted. That shit was a sea of people that moved from the barricades around this big ass mosh pit, in the mosh pit, and got thrown out. I felt like I was a marble in a damn when you actually like unplug the tub and you see the water going down and a marble comes and you drop a marble in that bitch and throw that bitch cop back up. That's how it was with me. I go like, how the fuck did I get here?
Right.
I don't
All I know
go
is
to
my
those
elbow was
concerts.
slow.
They shifted, and you.
I don't do their kind of drugs, so I don't go to those concerts.
You don't have to do drugs. Just
No,
gotta
I mean just what I talk about when I don't do those kind of drugs. Like most music, not all, but most music has there's a feeling of a drug in that music.
True.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
true.
you can feel the
Yeah.
drugs that they were taking when they made it. And I don't do those drugs.
That's true. Because
in certain cases, yeah. But I use it as an aggression piece.
About when they was talking about that house, like it was different house music. I'm from Chicago. I thought it was just usually that house music, old school music. Getting out there, that's why I went to the rave club. That was a whole different, because it was electrical, like what they call that, electronic type of house music.
Yeah, EDM.
The
Electronic
beat, yeah, and that was crazy. And then when I'm rolling and like,
And then the beat drops, and then you're done.
yeah, I mean that shit fucked me up. Like, I ain't doing this shit again.
But it's
Yeah, I mean, EDM
It's so
music
fun, though.
is made for drugs. Kind of like Pink Floyd is drug music. Like
Yeah.
if you haven't listened to
Yeah.
Pink Floyd on
Yeah.
drugs, you haven't listened to Pink Floyd. Like it was designed for that. That's the kind of the same thing with EDM. Like if you haven't started candy flipping and taking EDM, you haven't had the experience.
I'm like that experience. I say never again. When I was seeing Blade, I was just sitting back like, this is bullshit.
Anybody ever heard of Rammstein?
Yeah, everybody's heard of
Rammstein?
Rammstein.
I've been to one concert when I was like 19 or 20, and that was like one of the best shows I've ever seen because they use pyrotechnics and like flamethrowers and shit.
Right.
It's friggin' amazing.
That's just like Slipknot. Slipknot was down in Chicago in July, and Rammstein was there. Korn was there. Animals as Leaders was there. Yeah, it was an awesome open air was dope. My homegirl, she went and she recorded it. I'm like, man, I wanted to go, but I knew I wasn't gonna be able to make it. Bruh, every show, every band that played gave a hell of a show. Even Slipknot, even though Corey actually had that back surgery where he only did one jump at the end of the night, and that was on the last song, Spit It Out, where the entire crowd gets on the ground at the last break when they say, fuck me, I'm all out of enemies. At that part, he was like, you know what time it is. Everybody in the entire venue got the fuck on the ground. when he
Yeah.
said at the last point when he said jump the fuck up, you saw a sea of people just out of nowhere. Even in the Raptors, everybody was all over the place. That shit was the dopest shit ever. He made '09 Download look like shit compared to that show.
You know who could rock
That's
a
how
crowd? Fucking
Who?
Freddie Mercury
Oh.
could rock a crowd.
Bruh. You seen
Freddie Mercury.
his last concert? His last concert when he was dying? Man, I thought he couldn't even do that. But his ass actually just came out to the point where his hair was cut or whatnot. He playing the piano. And you can see his age was taking a toll on him. But at the same time, he was giving his all. I
That
felt
dude
like
was a ridiculous performer. Ridiculous.
and his range was amazing.
Yeah, a
It
lot
was
of people they don't like the dude could legitimately sing. Like that somehow gets like lost in the sauce with all the fucking Queen smash hits. Like no, that dude was a legitimate singer.
Yes, he
right.
was. I agree.
Rob Halford was not a bad singer either. From fucking I forgot the name of that band. How come I not know this? Judas Priest. Judas Priest.
Yeah. Now, I refuse to play any songs from Judas Priest or sing any songs from Judas Priest. I refuse. That's just fucked up. Because Painkiller is highly fucking crazy to even play. The intro of the drums is ridiculous. The guitar solos are just... He got like 3 guitar solos in that one fucking song. I'm like, damn, man, come on, bro. Can I breathe? And then it's so high of an octave to sing.
I can't do the first part of Painkiller solo. It's a stupid freaking sweep.
Yeah, it's the crazy sweep. And I'm looking like, you know what? No, I'm good. You know, that's almost like a Dragon Force. Through the is it through the fire, through the flames?
Get that, yeah.
It's like Protest the Hero. That guy can sing too.
Oh.
You listen to him?
What's the name of the band?
Protest the Hero.
Protest the Hero. Protest the
It's
Hero.
like metalcore.
Certain
That guy
metalcore
can
bands
sing.
I listen to, certain metalcore bands I'll be like, yeah, okay.
Actually, a lot of metalcore band singers can sing pretty good.
I wish you would
But
sing.
it's just
I wish dude would sing more. Like I don't like when he screams. I'm like, dude, sing. You can sing.
But that's the thing about it. Metalcore is based off screaming, and it's like you only sing during the chorus of the song. That's how it's like based off on. And I'm like, it's an okay subgenre. I'm not gonna lie, it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, I love the bounce in it, because when you're doing chops and all, it's so nice to actually hear the bounce that a lot of people fail to actually hear in metalcore. They pay attention like, oh, all he does is scream. I'm like, not necessarily, but you know, in certain cases, if you can't pick out the lyrics, it's not for you. But the musical part is actually pretty cool. That's when they really started broadening sweeps.
His music, like I don't even really listen to his lyrics because the fucking guy that they got playing guitar and the guy that they got playing bass is fucking retarded. Like it's insane. I'm like, I don't even like. I watched the music video just because I wanted to see the guy play it. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now. People don't play guitar like that. What is he even doing?
Nah, does anybody in here listen to Animals as leaders besides me?
I don't, but I like the lead guitarist.
Oh, Toshin Abasi?
Yeah.
He's badass. Toshin Abasi is a badass guitar player, man.
I like that.
It's like
I like that slap guitar.
that.
Yeah, he does that.
No, that's an A string. That's an A string. Yeah, thumping.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the A string. And I'm still trying to practice that shit. That shit is like hard as fuck to do, man.
There's a Japanese guy named Miyavi. He plays the shit out of a slap guitar. It's just fun to watch him do it. Because he started out as a street performer before he got signed.
Yeah.
And you know those, like, if you start out as a street performer, like, you gotta be able to perform or you don't eat. So, you know, when he goes, he fucking goes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's why when I definitely want to give me an 8 string to actually learn how to play that. Once I do that, Yeah, I know I can deal with the I mean not 8 string, but a 7 string first. Then I'll
I was
learn how to
about to say,
deal with the 8 string later.
you're gonna add 2 strings.
Yeah, look. Nah,
Just,
this is what I've actually like had the chance to fuck with an 8 string, and
mhm.
man, when I actually like dealt with it, I was like so intimidated because it was like, what the fuck do I do?
Right,
It
I
was
was
so
so
much to
lost.
deal with. I was like,
So lost.
I don't feel comfortable. I, yeah, you really do. And I'm like, I felt kind of intimidated. I was like, man, I don't get it. But when I tried the 7 string, I was like, it feels comfortable. But I'm not ready yet because I haven't like understood the full basics of, you know, the 6 string yet. So once I understand that, I can actually go ahead and upgrade,
I
and
would say
I'll be ready for it.
just go for it is what I would say. Like the first time I picked up a 7, I'm like, what the fuck? I can't do nothing with this. The neck is extra fat, and I can't hit the. I couldn't do
I
nothing,
like
but I
that
got
though.
so used to it.
I, I
On the
like
A
that though.
string,
The neck is fat. Yeah, that shit is ridiculous.
my
I'm not
friend
gonna
let me
lie.
play
That
this
shit is
A
really
string. I
ridiculous.
didn't know what to do with it. Like I couldn't do nothing with it. I guess I just have to get used to it. But you also have to know what you want to do with it. Like what do you want to do with the A
Yeah.
string? Like what type of music you trying to do, or what kind of styles and techniques. That matters too because you can
Yeah.
literally set up a 7 string or a 6 string as an 8 minus those top strings. But if you want to use an 8, you might as well just use the whole range.
Well, I mean, that means you have to play on a lower octave or a lower tuning though when you actually have to do it with a 6 string.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
that's
my
what it
six
is.
string, the lowest I've been was like drop 8, and I'm looking like, well, that is pretty low as all shit. I could go B, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and deal with A right now and see how that sounds. And I like it, but I'm like, it's not like it's a little bit different from the 8 string. The 8 string is like to the point where it's low is low.
Yeah.
So even with the 7 string, it's more, and then it's more room to play with. It's you can come up with different variations, and you can have a field day with a 7 string. With the 6 string, it's like you can do so much.
hmm
So
I think
yeah, I'm like, yeah, no, go ahead.
for me, the transition to a 7 string was easy because I had been playing in drop A for a long time. So going to
Right,
7 string is a little different only because with a 6 string you have to tune the second string differently than you would on a 7 string. Because on a
right.
6 string you only dealing with you it's not exactly like a 7 string because the second string has to be tuned differently. I forget which the tune is, but it's not like you would on a 7. A 7 string is basically a standard guitar with an extra B on it. Whereas playing drop
Ooh,
A on a 6 string is you're missing an entire string. So you have to play it completely
right,
different. You can't play them the same unless you change the tuning of the guitar.
right.
The advantage of the 7 string is you still get that same standard range with the extra added lower string. Like that makes the solo sound a lot different if you play the higher notes. That is. Like me, I try to get
Yeah.
into the habit of using all the strings on the 7. I usually don't, but I do sometimes.
But that's just like if you wanted to pull a E standard on the 7 string, you're just having an extra what? An
The
extra. Let's see.
standard is just B. The 7 string would be a
Well,
B.
as far as E standard,
Yeah, it would be a
oh, it's
seven.
B in 7.
Yeah, it's just B. That's when you drop it to A. If you
Okay.
were to do a drop tuning,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
my guitar is actually
Okay. Yeah.
tuned. My guitar is tuned to open C sharp, and the 7th string is a G
Yeah.
sharp. So it's like really low, but it's not drop tuning. It's a standard tuning, or I mean, it's open tuning. I mean,
Oh, okay.
so I play at a really low tune. Like if you ever listen to any of my songs, that G sharp is like very, very, very low.
Uh, yeah, that carries. Oh my goodness. Yeah, my little baby right here, man. And right now, I know I have to retune her because she's in a E standard. Because normally I'll be messing with it like in drop D or decide to go and drop A
Do you ever change
every
your
now and then.
string gauges?
Yeah, I like nine gauge though. I really like 9 gauge.
Like when you play in dropped A, do you use like a heavier gauge of strings or just a regular?
I haven't actually really used a heavier gauge. I've been asking everybody about that too. I'm like, what do you recommend?
Well,
And some people have their own preferences.
yeah, it also depends on the string tension. Like matching up the gauge with the tension is what gives you the cleanest, crispest sound for that tune. Anytime you go lower, it's recommended you get a heavier gauge of string. That way you get clear, more sustainable notes. And when you
Right.
match, yeah, because like dropped A, for example, you probably want a 60 gauge on that A string or 56.
Okay.
Like if you use a standard 46 gauge, it's going to sound kind of mushy.
Yeah.
But that's also combined with the effects that you use, like what type of amps or whatever.
Okay. Because most of the time I'd actually play my stuff through my monitors for in my studio. So
Do you
yeah,
cover
I end up
songs or you
plugging
write
it through
your
my
own stuff?
preamp, write my own stuff.
Mm.
I've realized it's a lot easier for me to write my own shit than to play somebody else's. For one, I'm a perfectionist as far as like trying to play somebody else's stuff. I take too long, and then I feel like okay, I got it, then I don't. But as far as like writing my own stuff, I feel like it's a lot easier because it's like, hey, I wanted to sound like this, I wanted to sound like that, and I end up doing it to a certain degree.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a lot easier to write my own music. I incorporate a lot of stuff, especially like I try to incorporate a lot of different sounds in my music
What do you
to
use to
make it
record?
sound so.
You got an interface?
Um, yeah, we pretty much have Pro Tools for ours. Let's see, we got a M Audio box, one of the
Okay.
newer versions.
I got an old one.
Yeah, those old ones, man. I don't know what it is about the old ones. Those old ones used to give me so much hell, man. I don't understand that shit. Like the old inboxes, they used to really piss me off. I'd be like, man, what the fuck? You just froze? Like, seriously? Come on, man. Like I'm recording a whole song, and this has happened. So I'm not the only person that had this happen. You record a whole song, and you in the zone. Sometimes you forget to save shit. You may save once, and you be like, okay, I'm good. And you actually like get in the zone and start creating shit. Be like, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. And the minute you feel like, you know what, I should save. You try to do that, your damn computer freezes you. Like, bruh, get the fuck out of here. No, I'll never be able to write this again. No.
I'm gonna tell you something. That happened to me when I used Pro Tools, and that's one of the reasons why I stopped using it. Because I would lose my shit. I would lose everything and have to start over. I stopped using Pro
Yeah.
Tools for one of those reasons. Never had an issue with Cubase, but they auto save. Like I mean, auto backup. I mean, not auto save. If it crashes, there's a backup like every 5 minutes or every few steps you take.
Right.
So I had a lot of issues with crashing with Pro Tools and just losing stuff I recorded.
I don't know if they actually fixed them or the newer version, because we have the newer version. I don't know if they fixed that per se, but if they did, oh shit, I'll be happy about that, because the last time I was working on my album, when I was writing one of the interludes in the songs, and I had it to the point where it sounded like something from Final Fantasy, and I was like, oh shit, this is awesome, and I saved it. And I started to actually like stretch it out and do different things with it. And the next thing you know, I'm like, bruh, what the fuck? I was like, man, come on. I'm glad I saved it when I did, because I'm like, man, the way I came up with that, the sound I was using, I was like, bro, this shit sounds amazing. I don't think anybody gonna actually see this coming when they hear this damn album. I'm like, oh shit. Like, yeah. Cause it's like, man, I'm trying to do something way different and actually cause a commotion with the sound as is. Like, man, this is a breath of fresh air. I mean, I like to take a little bit of this and that from other places, whereas to the point where you know you can identify with everything else, but you can tell it's original, even though I actually take bits and pieces of other things, because that's what we do anyway as musicians and artists. We actually take things that people are familiar with, and
Yeah.
then when they do that, when they hear it, they'll be like, "Oh, this is something I'm used to, but not really." So that's kind of what I've done, and a way of poetry. My lyrical ability is progressive poetry, progressive and aggressive poetry, meaning as far as like the change ups of different styles I use, because I have so many styles, I sound different on every damn song. It's to the point where people heard my shit before and they be like, "Who the hell is that?" And I'm like, "That's me still." "That's you?" I'm like, "Yeah." "And who the hell was the other person?" "That was me." Like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, man. It's like, I like to change up my voice. Well, I don't change it up to the point where it's like unnoticeably changing, but it's to the point where I don't sound the same on every song. Even if the subject matter, it changes up constantly. It's to the point where it's it's almost how, like, if you listen to a Wu-Tang record and you have 9 dudes on one album and there's so
Right.
many emotions and so many changes. It's kind of like that, but one person, except I don't change my voice. It's just I change my style and I change the pace of how things go. So when people hear it, they're like, bro, when people hear this shit, they go, there's no in between. They gonna like it. They gonna love it. But it's either you really, really, really love it, or you just be like, oh, I'm gonna leave it alone. You're not gonna hate it because you can't hate it, because it's to the point where it's like, I can't stand this shit. This shit getting on my nerves. It's not meant to get on your nerves. I made my music to the point where if I feel like it gets on my nerves, it's gonna get on the listener's nerves. So I kind of have that quality control with it. So I'm making it to the point where it's like, however I'm feeling, you will feel at that moment. You will have a moment of empathy.
Yeah, I have
So
like no lyrical or vocal talent, so I don't even attempt to add lyrics or vocals to my music. I
I
feel
can
I would
dig it.
ruin
I
it.
mean,
You think something's good, you might ruin it by trying to overdo it. So I just won't even touch it.
yeah. I mean, some people, and I commend you for actually saying it, because some people be like, I don't think I'll actually be good in that. I'm like, well, you know your own abilities. You know the best of your own abilities. So you can't actually get mad at that. If anybody get mad at that for any case, they be like, man, that's just me. I know me more than anybody else know me, so I know what I'm capable of. But then again, if you ever actually get the ability to gain that ability to do so, shit, I say go for it as a test run to see if you actually like if it fits. If it don't, fuck it. You're
Well,
like,
one
nah,
thing
I'm not putting that shit out.
one thing it does do is it allows me to express myself more so through the music. Like the music tells
Right,
the story. Like it's not repetitive at all. Like it changes
right,
up. Like the beginning part won't even sound like the middle or the end. So it's
right.
progressive through it where because I don't have that vocal ability, I have to tell the story through the music, through the sound. And that's what I mainly focus on.
Right.
One of my
Yeah.
friends said that one of my tracks didn't need vocals because the music did all the storytelling.
That's how I am with mine, because I say that all the time, and I take that philosophy from Kurt Cobain when he said, "Music first, lyrics second." But the thing is, with my lyrics, I take just the amount of time on my lyrics that I do with the music. But the music I take extra care with just as well. So when I actually work on the music, I'm worried about, like, okay, it's like a painting. How am I gonna actually like make this backdrop colorful enough for people to actually understand the story and what I'm about to do?
Yeah,
So once I focus on that, it's like I'll get a concept, and once I get that concept, I can, like, okay, now after I get the concept, I have to gain that emotion. How am I gonna come on this emotion? Once I gain that emotionally, everything else from there is like, okay, now I have to paint everything to the point where this part right here sounds a little smooth. Then I'll actually have a climax point, and then at that point it just explode with all types of sounds and whatnot, and all types of variations and colors.
and it'll do this at this part, it'll do that at this part, and you know that's how I do everything I've been working on. It's like, okay, this shit is art. That's how art is supposed to be made. It's to the point where it's not supposed to be stale. That's why I get so upset where a lot of people are like, well, that's you sounding old. I'm like, no, it's me sounding like a fucking musician, because when I hear trap music, and somebody actually said this shit to me, they were like, oh, you don't know nothing about trap. I'm like, dude, trap been around since '03. But at the same time, that's the easiest shit to make. It's so fucking easy. I can make a beat at 170, speed up everything, like chop up the highs, add 808s every now and then, and a dumbass instrumental, and that's it. Whereas with my shit, I have to compose everything. It's like the strings, the different chords and syncopations, and I take that shit serious. So it's to the point where you get away with all that bullshit, and you know the lack of the quality is trash to me. And it's like not all trap is trash, but a good bit of it that I've heard, I'm like, nah. Cause I ain't gonna lie, some of that shit actually sound like, to the point if you put that shit with some guitars and a bass and you know a double kick drum with it, with a awesome ass drummer, that shit sound way liver than that shit I hear.
Yeah.
Cause I ain't gonna lie, it's like what song I want to say that actually is like dope as hell. That sound like it should be a metal cover to it. Matter of fact, the song OG Bobby Johnson. When I heard that damn song, if you listen to the instrumental and you actually like, it actually could go to some doom metal shit. To be real, it really could. Because if you listen to the instrumental, you'll be like, man, I could actually cover this shit. Somebody can do a cover to it.
Believe it or not, I have taken. Have you heard of Yo Gabba Gabba?
I heard of Yo Gabba Gabba.
I used to watch
I can't
it with my
pronounce
son.
this shit for nothing.
My son used to watch it a lot, and this one song came on. I just fell in love with it. I never told anybody though, but yeah, it's called the Rain Song. You can look it up on YouTube. It's called the Rain Song, and just listening to the lyrics, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try to make a doom metal version of this, and I made a very short. I made a very short version of it in a doom metal format, and I actually do the vocals on it too. People say it turned out okay, but I think only 3 people ever heard it, because I never publicly released it for fear of embarrassment. But the lyrics is basically like the rain is falling down, fresh water from the sky, something like that. It's, if you think about it, like this song sounds kind of sad, so a doom metal theme is perfect for these lyrics, and that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I never finished it though, but it's like a little demo, and only like 3 people ever heard it though. But when I tell them where I got the idea from, and they hear the original, they think, really? I thought about doing that, making doom metal versions of a lot of different songs, just based on the lyrical content.
Yeah, I mean, in certain ways, like certain anime actually can inspire me to do certain tracks. Because I'll listen to, let's see, what old anime. Matter of fact, Macross Plus has one of my favorite composers on it, and she did Cowboy Bebop, and she did Wolverine, Yoko Kanno, and I've listened to, I have most of her work, and I listen to certain songs, and I'm like, you know what? I like that little jazz. I may sample something, but most of the time I try to stay away from sampling. I'll try to like get that idea that I just heard a little sound and then go around it and try to build from one. It may be like one chord, and I'll be like, I can take that one chord right there, maybe take the tuning and drop it or raise it and add different chords to it. It's like it's my own shit, which you can do that. It's like you can get away with that, but at the same time, it's a little spruce of inspiration to it. And I'm like, I've done it before, and I'm like, you know what? This would be awesome to actually use. And like, okay, well, I came up with, I actually like the chord, so I'm gonna take that one chord and add different chords around that to make my own. And you know, I'm gonna continue to own and build off that song and see if I can actually come up with something. And it actually sound original. It sound like my own shit. You would never ever tell that I actually took like one chord from something. The one chord means nothing, especially if you like just everybody uses almost the same chords in music. So that's not gonna it's not gonna hurt anything as far as most people be like, well, you can get sued. I'm like, if I take one chord from something, that's not gonna hurt nothing. One note, that's not gonna hurt shit. Because everybody uses the same chords in music. It's just how you execute it.
Right.
I'm like, man, you know what? I can do that. I can actually like come up with some. If I feel like I'm inspired to do something, I want to actually. If I hear somebody else that inspired me to do it, and I actually would say that in the interview too. I'd be like, you know what? This person actually inspired me. I don't get how the hell you got this out of this. Well, you know, I ain't gonna tell you the full secret of everything, but you know, yeah, that song is a big influence of that. I'm like, what? Yeah.
I've actually gotten away with reusing a riff in between 3 of my songs, but you would never notice.
Like, what the hell?
It's played exactly the same and almost the same tempo, but you wouldn't even notice. I know though,
Like,
because
what
I'm like, what happened was I was playing one of my songs. I must have paused it and came back and played it from where it paused, and I only heard that like on the back end of a riff. I'm like, oh, okay. Because when you hear like the middle of a section, like it's completely out of place, out of structure or whatever, you hear like half of one section and then the other half of another, and you put them together, it sounds like something completely different, even though it's the same note.
Right.
That's basically what I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. Matter of fact, now that you mentioned it, I've done that before, and I'm like, I notice it, but I'm looking like I think everybody. If I notice it, I feel like everybody else is gonna notice it. Which sometimes I need to stop doing it, but that is a safety net because I don't want to do the same thing over and over. Because if I feel like, if I use the same note or the same chord in a different tuning, it'll sound completely different. And I'm like, yeah, but how long can I get away with this shit? I can't do this all the fucking time. That's gonna get my ass in trouble for real.
The trick is the tempo sometimes.
Anything else you want to add?
Yeah.
Because coming up to the end, we got 2 minutes left.
I'm pretty
Shit.
wrapped up.
You're pretty much
Yeah, I'm golden too.
All righty, man. We thank you guys for coming out to Debating Woe. Please click the like, share, subscribe, and definitely donate. And we will see you guys on the flip side.
Peace.
All right.